if you guys, thank you guys for listening. I'm in a different location, so sound might be a little bit off, okay? Everything might be slightly different. But I would like to discuss this situation because I want to put this to bed, okay? I want this to be done with. I don't want to see this. I don't want to hear no rumors about this or anything like that. Cynthia Erivo should not play any Black American icon ever again. Okay? Period. There should not even be a chance that she, of all people, is going to be cast as any icon. It seems like there's a agenda. It not seems like there is an agenda. We're seeing a pattern, not just with British actors playing Black American roles, FBA roles, but we're seeing in particular Cynthia Erivo. It seems like anytime they want to make a biopic or a story based off of a Black woman icon of, the FBA lineage, whether that's Harriet Tubman, Aretha Franklin, or even now is going to be rumored that Chaka Khan, it seems like Cynthia Erivo gets first pick. Cynthia Erivo gets first pick. And Black Americans have consistently said, okay, it's a consensus on this. It's not like it's even a debate, okay? This isn't a thing that, some people like her, some people don't like her, or whatever the case is. There is a general consensus on the fact that we do not approve of Cynthia Erivo playing in these roles. There's a consensus on that. Hold on for 1 second. I'm waiting for my mods to show up here for 1 second. We'll start the conversation, but I want to hear you guys' opinion because on my YouTube channel, Afro Elite on YouTube, shameless plug, y'all go subscribe. I was talking about this last night. And I want to have a conversation where now the community gets to join in, and I want to hear what you guys think about this. I'm going to let you know up front. Normally, I like to keep things like kind of open-ended just to get the community's feedback on this. Now, if y'all disagree, you can come up and you can voice your disagreement. If y'all think that maybe I'm, overreacting, if this is not that big of a deal or whatever the case may be, then maybe y'all can come up and y'all can state that y'all think is fine. Y'all think she's a great actress and y'all think she can sing and boo up the band. Y'all can let me know that. Y'all can come up and disagree. But from what I see, the general consensus of foundational Black Americans is we don't approve of any of her casting of being cast rather in FBA role. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. The general consensus of. Okay. I don't understand. Well, I get it.
Non-toxic. Let us see it. Oh,
All right.
sorry.
You're good. You're good. I get it. That there's an agenda because let's be honest, there's a lot of British actors now, and we discussed this in depth on YouTube. That's why y'all got to subscribe on YouTube. Okay, we discussed this in depth on YouTube. That there's a lot of British actors who are being portrayed as Black American icons. We can talk about David, I forgot his last name, Lua, I believe is his last name, a British actor, and now he's being portrayed as Bass Reeves, who's a foundational Black American sheriff. Okay, he was like a crime fighting, he was a real person, Bass Reeves. Okay, Dr. King, he also played Dr. King. Okay, same British actor who's not from our lineage. All right, there was another one, Naomi Okia, I believe it's her name, her last name, how it's pronounced. She played Whitney Houston in a movie a couple years ago. All right, that movie flopped terribly. By the way, just saying, it flopped terribly. Even now, there's the conversation of Dansom Idris, who was the star in Snowfall. He played Franklin Saint in Snowfall, being cast as Miles Davis, who's a FBA music icon. And the thing is that this doesn't, what we're not doing is we're not saying that they're bad actors, okay? I don't think that they're bad actors. I don't think that Damson Idris is a bad actor. I like him as an actor. I think he was good in the Snowfall, even though that was kind of loosely, if you watch Snowfall, it was kind of loosely based off of Freeway Rick, who is actually a real FBA person. But the thing is, he didn't play him. He played kind of like a character that was based off of him. But the thing, that's cool. That's his lane. That's cool. But now when you're actually playing a real person, that's a different story. And this is something that we're saying. Even if you want to play like a soldier who is in the Black Panthers or whatever, a Black Panther member, okay, that's cool. But when you start playing Fred Hampton, that's a different thing. And then they had that other dude who's his name Daniel Kaluuya. He was the guy in Get Out, and he was also in the first Black Panther film. He was in a couple of films, and then he played Fred Hampton in that last Fred Hampton movie. And then they had the Black American, what's his name? I forgot his name. The Black American brother, what was his name? Lakeith Stanfield. They had Lakeith Stanfield, who is actually Black American, playing William O'Neill, the villain of the movie. You know, so we're starting to see this destiny swap of you guys, or not you guys, but of folks getting British actors and actresses to play in our foundational Black American icons. And what makes this matter much, much worse is the fact that these people, and when I say these people, I'm talking about the individuals, especially Cynthia Erivo, has shown crazy amounts of disrespect towards Black Americans. I pulled up a bunch of receipts on YouTube yesterday. She has crazy receipts, crazy tweets and statements and retweets and all of that stuff. Calling us ghetto, saying we had no culture, saying we were jealous of them, saying all of this stuff about us. Okay? Retweeting all of this stuff. I'm pulling up receipts where her friend, quote unquote, Lovey, was calling us Black Americans Akata and all that. We was getting called all that stuff. All right? So yeah, so her of all people shouldn't be playing any of them. Shouldn't be playing any of them whatsoever. All right? I'm seeing that they're saying, I'm not sure when BX is going to come up. I'm going to send this to her one more time. Zizi, are you available right now?
I can speak. I'm standing in line at TJ Maxx. I just don't know how loud my background
Okay,
is.
I got it. I got it to you. Done. Okay. But yeah, this is not what we're going to do. We're going to I guess BX might be held up a little bit, so we're going to start letting certain people up. You know, we're going to start letting some people up. I'm going to say this. As far as actors and stuff like that, this isn't us hating, but this is more than that. I even brought up, everybody got to mute as you're coming up. Everybody got to mute, because let me finish my monologue. A couple years ago, I think this was in 2020 or 2021. Not Netflix. Disney did a special on Dr. King and Malcolm X called MLK/X. And they had two women playing Coretta Scott King and Betty Shabazz. And the story was like a 6-episode miniseries where it's supposed to kind of depict the personal relationships of Dr. King and Coretta and Malcolm and Betty. It was supposed to do that. Now, the woman who played Coretta Scott King is also a British actress. And she was going on interviews talking about she didn't know nothing about Coretta Scott King. She didn't know nothing about Coretta Scott King. She didn't really know about Dr. King. She didn't really know about Betty Shabazz. She didn't really know about Malcolm. She didn't know about nobody. But she just got the role almost instantly. Instantly got the role. And my thing is that these are real people. That's what offends me. These are, if you were playing some type of robot invasion thing, whatever. It is what it is. You playing and you in outer space and all of that stuff. Okay, well, fine. But you're playing real people. That's the thing that bothers me. These people really have deep stories that need to be told. Okay? These people's stories need to be told to people, and people need to be educated on their stories. And you're getting people to portray them who don't know who they are prior to getting the role. So to them, it's just a job. They're just acting. It's just a role to them. They're not like really taking the seriousness of this and the significance. They're not understanding and comprehending the significance of making sure you tell the story accurately and powerfully. They're not doing that. Okay? To them, It's a job. They don't even know who these people are. This is not a comic book movie where you can read up a couple comic books after you get cast as Spider-Man or something. This is a real person who had a real life, and their life is very significant to our life here. So for you to not tell their story accurately is disrespectful to them and to everybody else. And that's how I feel about it. Okay? That's how I feel about it. To be honest. Waiting for I'm not sure where BX is. What the hell is going on? Okay, that's very interesting. Hold on. Okay, well, some must be going on, but we're gonna get to it. I'm just gonna let some of the people up that I already know, and y'all already know the rules. Y'all already know how we get down and everything. So we're just gonna do it like that, right? Gonna do it like that. So shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all tap the screen, and follow. All right, we're gonna get things started. The real Princess Jasmine, how you doing?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Um, for them to potentially cast Cynthia Erivo, because I don't know if it's set in stone, is beyond disrespectful. It's they even in the industry they are aware of how we feel about her. So for them to do that, but her constantly playing actual Black American women is getting ridiculous at this point. And I think back to when my parents were explaining like, hey, when the Selena movie first came out, a lot of Mexican Americans didn't like that J Lo was playing her because she was Puerto Rican. And I remember being like, "Oh, that's so crazy. Why is it that other groups of people of color or whatever we called it back then, why is it that other groups always feel like they can't play each other?" But now I get it because you have somebody who doesn't respect the culture. She doesn't respect the culture of the people that she's playing, and she's continuously playing these roles. And as far as like what you said about the Coretta, I didn't know the lady said that about Coretta, but I remember the day Miss Coretta passed away. I remember the day I met her. She's not a far off ancestor. She just passed away. She has children and grandchildren. So when we see adaptations of her, we're grieving and remembering her. You know, they don't feel that way. You shouldn't be playing that role if you don't feel that way.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. This is not ancient history. This is not. You know what I'm saying? This is not somebody you can just throw anybody into. People, this story, her story really does matter. And you can't just pick it to somebody who just wants another gig. To them, it's a gig. And if you want to have a gig doing anything else or even being a supporting character, maybe. But you have a gig being the main character and the story is on your back and you don't even know about. First off, you don't appreciate the person because you don't know them. We can't accept that. We can't accept that because that's really like a backhanded compliment. Either leave the character alone or do it justice. That's how I feel about it. Because we could do it better than that. We can make an independent film better than that if we're gonna go that way. Let me get to my brother, delineationist. You got
I'm
it?
glad, yes, sir. I'm glad that you holding this space again, as always. Is always the right time, no better time than the present. Let's really get to this. When it comes to her playing these roles, this woman has said racialized things against our community. She has discriminated against our community. She's not the right woman for that role. And for them to keep thinking that it's just a gig when it's much more than that, that's the problem within itself. One of the things that she has said online was allegedly that she felt that what's her name, Harriet Tubman was a character, right? This is some of the things that she has said on X in regards to our ancestors who have fought the good fight and put their blood in the soil and did the right thing, right? They did the right thing for our people. So she's not the right person. Also, her lineage comes from slave traders and stuff like that. So, like, why does she feel compelled to play our characters since we just Akatas and all that stuff? That's the other thing I do want to ask. But when you got Agent DuVernay signing off on that project right now, because I did some digging on my own because I was curious about it. And I was like, yo, who is the person from the lineage allegedly that's co-signing this buffoonery, right? Who are the people who are doing this? Is you know who I mean by Agent DuVernay, right? The,
Yeah,
the,
yeah. Go ahead.
the woman who did When They See Us. That woman is doing that movie in regards to her. And she is signing off as a director for that. So we need to be holding people from the lineage who are doing sellout maneuvers. And we need to. Her name's not Ava. It's Agent around these parts. She when you selling out our community, when you selling out our lineage, you an agent to me. And I don't care if you're working with the government or not, because you're doing a bidding. You're making our people look bad. You're disgracing the ancestors, and so forth and so forth. That's why she's get called Agent DuVernay by such people like me and such. And what she's doing is unbecoming of a director from my perspective, because she's not telling the real story. She's not telling the real story about our people. So salute to you on that. I'm glad that you holding this space as always, and make sure we stay full throttle on the stories and stories like these. And thank you for allowing me to speak.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, doke then. Yeah, that's real talk. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now, I will say, for the sake of the matter, as of right now, this is a rumor. This is not confirmed that there is a green lit movie of her being cast as Shaka Khan. I do think that the rumor does have some substance to it. I do think that is something, and I said this on YouTube. It is something like, well, we want to we don't want to officially announce it's greenlit, but what we want to do is kind of test the waters just to see. Okay, so it's not based off of anything that's actually been confirmed, but I'm just talking about the principle as of right now. All right, let's get to, let me see, Retro Rose.
Hey, what's up, Afro? How's everybody doing? Um, you know something? Here's the thing. She has a history of being very disrespectful to foundational Black Americans. She has a history of disrespecting us, especially on X. You know, and the fact that they are giving her this rose, I believe Hollywood knows exactly what they're doing. Like you said, it's just a rumor. Um, but it's just like I feel like this. If you're gonna outright disrespect our lineage, our culture, and our contributions, to this globally, then there's no way you should play one of our icons. I'm gonna give you an example. Like for the longest time, right? Um, and I can name that a few actors that I think that are amazing actors who are not of our lineage, but I think they're amazing actors. Like I think Idris Elba is an amazing actor. I think Daniel Kaluuya is an amazing actor. But not one time I ever saw them in any frame disrespecting our culture. That's why for the longest time I thought Idris Elba was a Black American, especially from The Wire, because he did such a great job and he emulated that character so good as Stringer Bell. Shout out to him because he really did that. But he never talked sideways out of his mouth about us. You know what's ironic too? I thought Wood Harris was British until I found out he was from Chicago. That's the funny thing. And even with Daniel Kaluuya about that, or when he sat down in an interview, in the way he bigged up foundational Black American, our contributions and our freedom fighter track record, how much when he played Fran Hampton. I thought it was a good movie. I liked it better than Selma because I couldn't stand Selma. Oh my gosh, Selma was just so weird and off brand. Now, at the end of the day, she should not be put in positions to play our icons where she got such vitriol and disdain for us. Now they can play their own historical figures. Like for example, I think Henry Salih, he played Shaka Zulu. I thought that should have won an Oscar. That was an amazing acting job. And RIP to him. He embodied Shaka Zulu. That was amazing. And I think even when our people, when we play their roles, we always put respect on the character that we played. We never disrespected their fight. We never disrespected their causes, anything. We showed love to their causes throughout history. Jennifer Hudson played it. She did a phenomenal job when she played Winnie Mandela. She was great. I thought she did an amazing job, and she was putting respect on their lineage. The problem is when you got people like her disrespecting us, how you get to play Harriet Tubman, our amazing freedom fighter? How do you get to play that when you hate the lineage of the person you're playing? So with that, I'm gonna land my plane.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yeah. It is a thing of respect, but it's also a thing of kind of like culture too. That's also what I want to add to it. Culture is also incredibly significant in these conversations as well too. Zizi, when you're available, just jump in anytime. All right. We're going to get to V2 and then basic. All right, V2. I don't know if we've spoken before. Where are you from? What's your lineage?
I'm from the U.S. I'm a Black American.
Okay, well, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I don't think she should play the role either. It's like Hollywood is trying to be funny. I just feel like with everything that's starting to happen with the Essence Fest and this, it's like now I feel like they're just trying to poke at Black Americans. But I'm kind of happy that it's happening because it's just waking my people up, and we're starting to see the hand at play. We're just starting to see how people like don't really like us. They don't really rock with us. But you know, if any time it's time to make money on us, to make some money about our culture, they're the first ones to sign up. And we didn't forget those tweets, you know. She put those tweets out. She said she was cracking some jokes. So I feel like, why would you even want to do the role? Like, go do somebody in the UK. Go do one of y'all legends. And then, like, another aspect is kind of like, how does Shaka Khan even feel about this? Like, if I'm Shaka Khan and you come to me and you tell me, yeah, we have this actress playing your role, and I'm seeing this picture that I'm looking at right here, and I'm seeing the septum piercing, the bald head, the tattoos on the chest, the rib cage. I would be like, she's not about to represent me. Shaka Khan is a legend. She's one of our legends. Like, and I know when you talk about actors and actresses and stuff, people, you know, they get on makeup and all that stuff, but still, I just feel like I would want somebody that's kind of like, you know, just exudes more class and just more, I don't know, just a more neutral look. So yeah, she definitely can't play it. And if Hollywood want to be petty and waste their money and spend their budget on it, let them do it, because at this point it's already going to get boycotted because we're not really rocking with her, and we're not rocking with her doing that role. So that's all I had to say.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Basic, you got it, brother.
What's going on, everybody? So as far as this, I did recently see that Shaka Khan went on Instagram and addressed it. She basically said it's not true, and said don't believe anything unless it comes from her and her people. So I was happy to hear that. You know, but it also just shows how people make these things, and it can even show up on Google. You can search this stuff on Google, and it looks like it's legit, like it'll look like a fact. Because I did check it. I put it into Google, and it came up that it was true. So
Yeah.
we just have to make sure that we double and triple check now, because these false narratives and rumors and stuff, it's like they're getting way more crafty. Maybe they're using AI or something. I don't know. But I'm actually happy to see the response that happened from our people, because the response was different a few years ago. Because I made a post on Facebook. This was probably like 3-4 years ago or something like that, when when that movie The Harder They Fall came out. And I started talking about how I started to notice these British actors that was coming over here, and they was playing pivotal roles depicting Black Americans, even though they didn't even look like them. Like Stagecoach in the movie The Harder They Fall. Like, she didn't look anything like the woman that was portraying her. It was a little light skinned chick. And Stagecoach Mary didn't look nothing like her. And you know, the dude from Judas and the Messiah too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's an African from the UK. So this has been going on for years. And back then when I spoke about it, you know, our people was kind of like, they didn't see a big deal with it. They was like, we all black, whatever. But now it's changing, and I'm so glad to see it. And I just hope that we can turn it around and start to gatekeep things like this, like our culture, the people who play these roles. Like we just got to be comfortable with standing up for our people, because I think right now, Black Americans, for the most part, we've always been scared to be the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? So we just accept a lot of stuff, and we accept people to come into our communities and our culture and stuff. We always have to accept people. So now I don't even care if they haven't said anything negative about Black Americans. I just think we need to gatekeep. Like, no, you don't need to be portraying any of our ancestors. We can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are the ones who embody these people, and we can do a way better job than them. Like Judas and the Messiah. I believe that somebody like Lawrence Tate or anybody else could have did a way better job than I can never think of dude's name, but the dude that played in him. Yeah, him. Me personally, I just don't find dude to be a good actor. You know what I'm saying? I like the movie, but he's just not a good actor to me. And I don't even know how he came out the blue and started getting all these big roles like out of nowhere. Like, this dude just came out of nowhere, and he just, he's headlining all these Black American movies. So I think we need to really be active and be vocal when it comes to this. I don't think none of them should be portraying our ancestors, especially. I like Idris Elba, but him too. He not from here. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see none of our actors going over to Europe and getting no primetime roles just out the gate. I don't see none of that. I don't see none of our people going over to Africa, getting offered no roles or nothing like this, portraying their ancestors. So we need to really see how they move and stop accepting stuff just because they Black. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to see the response, and we just gotta like we gotta be even more divisive. In my opinion, we gotta like really, really, really gatekeep the way that they do. That's all.
Yeah. The thing is that, and thank you for that. The thing is first, and I'm glad that this is not a true thing. She's playing Shaka Khan. The thing is that there are more than enough foundational Black American actors and actresses who could play this role. We're not short of any Black actors in America or actresses in America. We're not short of that. There's a lot of people who are from the lineage who would be more than willing to play these roles, and they're getting overlooked for these British actors and actresses. When I was on YouTube yesterday, I was talking about how the woman who wound up playing Coretta Scott King, who also is British, okay, she said she didn't know nothing about Coretta Scott King. And then in another interview clip that I found and I showed, they said that she was the first person to do an interview for the role, and she got the role instantly. She instantly got the role, even though she didn't know who Coretta Scott King was really until after she got the role. She got the role off the very first interview. There's a lot, so that means you overlooked a lot of other people. It's not like we're not auditioning for these roles, or you can't find a Black American for these roles. They're overlooking a lot of Black Americans for these roles. And y'all go to my YouTube, I got the receipts on there. They're overlooking a lot of us for these roles, and they're getting British actors from the UK, whatever the case is, actors who are not from here, and they're coming over here doing a mediocre job. Okay? They're doing a mediocre job. And not all of them are bad. No, and I'm not saying all of them are bad, but I'm going to be very honest with you. I think the casting would have been a lot better if they would have switched Daniel Kaluuya as Fred Hampton and had Lakeith Stanfield play Fred Hampton. I think that would have been a better cast. And this isn't just me being biased, okay? I think Lakeith Stanfield has a much broader range than Daniel Kaluuya, okay? It would have been he has much broader range. He kind of looks more like Fred Hampton, because Daniel don't look nothing like Fred Hampton. Now, that's not even no diss or nothing like that. Daniel don't look nothing like Fred Hampton, okay? It would have been much, and they wanted him to play William O'Neill. Like the casting it doesn't even look the part in most of these cases. Okay? She doesn't even look like Aretha Franklin. Okay, she doesn't even look like these people. And it's not true that she's being cast as Shaka Khan, but they don't even look like these people in a lot of these cases. But they're being given preferential treatment. They're being given preferential treatment. And we can't do that. Zizi, are you available? Are you with us?
Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah. No, I agree. And you know what's crazy is our actors we have the best actors, period. Okay, our actors are probably the most memorable from across the globe. To be honest, we have the most staples when it comes to films, actresses. We connect to, especially by foundational Black American actors and actresses specifically. We connect to the crowd the most, I think. Which is why even if we don't look like the specific person that we are portraying, like he was making a point with Lakeith Stanfield, his energy, I do think he has a broader range. And I think he probably could have tapped into that Fred Hampton energy, to be honest. And I enjoyed the film. I like the brother in the film, Daniel Kaluuya. But still, you know, to your point, our revolutionaries, our historical figures, we have to hold space for our actors to be able to portray them. You know, that's important for us, for our people to see us representing us. You know, these misrepresentations in the Cynthia Erivo, especially when they have these anti-Black vitriol, you know, or rhetoric that they've spewed and it's been exposed, that should be respected. That, okay, at least they are not qualified. You spoke against Black Americans. That should be a disqualifier right now. Okay, they cannot play any of, I don't even think she should be playing our roles, period. Girl, you got an English accent. There's plenty of roles where you can use your English accent. You don't even need to play an American, period, to be honest. But damn sure not any of our historical figures. But even besides that, the UK or the non-FBA brothers and sisters who are playing our roles, there has to be a level of mindfulness and respect for us and our culture, period. Like you mentioned, Idris Elba, one of us, I think somebody else was speaking who mentioned Idris Elba, who did a great job on The Wire. A lot of people thought he was FBA for a while. And I've never heard him say anything disparaging against FBAs. You know, he has a very good position in the FBA culture. A lot of Black women love him, okay? So people like that can be respected and they can kind of dip in and dip out. But others, you know, we have to be very mindful. And even the ones that we let in, we have to be very, very careful. And it should be very sparingly who we let in, because these people we don't know. Especially if he was born here. I mean, Idris Elba, shout out to that brother, but he wasn't born here. We don't know if he got anti-Black family members or cousins, or, you know, if he grew up with that sort of rhetoric and he's unprogrammed himself to do it. Not to say that he did, but we won't know. If you're not of this land, there's just a risk, another level of risk that we're taking by allowing you to represent us. So that's something that has to be in mind every time we do a film or anything related to our culture or our people historically.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully agree. The thing is, this is more than about a movie. This is about a story. All right. And that's why I need a lot of people to understand. It's about telling somebody's story, not making up a story. These people are not playing a fictional character who happened to have lived during the Civil Rights Movement, or who happened to have lived during Jim Crow, who happened to have lived during slavery. These are people who are depicting real people who lived this life, okay? So that needs to be taken way more serious. It would be one thing if you kind of made a story, for instance, Sinners, right? Michael B. Jordan's character, now Michael Jordan is a Black American, he's FBA, but Michael B. Jordan's character, Smoke and Stack, they're fictional characters. They're not characters based off of a real character named Smoke and a real character named Stack. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that when even though you're playing a fictional character, you're playing a real life era, okay? A real life time. Okay, this is not, he didn't play nobody in the future on Mars. He played a for real era. There was for real, I can't, triple K going on, okay, in Mississippi, really still now, but especially in that time, it was very open in Mississippi during that time. There was that, he played in a real thing. So you kind of even still need to be able to tap in. You still need to be of the lineage to be able to tap in that well, okay? You still need to do that. BX, now come on. All right, BX. BX is in here.
Yes. How long have you been live?
BX, we've been live for a good minute now. BX.
For real, I was asleep, y'all. I'm sorry. I need my rest too, you know.
Yes,
Combating terrorism and anti-black sentiments is exhausting, and sometimes I need to sleep.
that's true. That's true. You need your rest. I'm mad at you. Just playing.
Yes, did you
Now,
set the
somebody
decorum
says
for
Will
the
Smith
room?
played a Nigerian doctor. That's a really good point. Will Smith did play a Nigerian doctor, and Will Smith also got a lot of flack for that. It was a lot of Nigerians, and I showed this on YouTube yesterday. It was a lot of Nigerians who didn't appreciate that. Okay, and to be very honest,
I didn't know.
first off, yeah, yes, they did, and I showed the receipts. The Nigerians in particular did not like Will Smith portraying a Nigerian doctor. And another thing, to be very honest, Will Smith has never said anything negative about Nigeria. Will Smith has never denigrated Nigeria. Will Smith has never insulted Nigeria or insulted Nigerians. Will Smith has never said anything derogatory about their culture, unlike Cynthia Erivo. So I'm glad that you brought that up. I'm very glad that you brought that up.
I didn't
Because
talk about the conscious
when
movie.
we play them, there's no disrespect, but when they play us, there's a lot of disrespect.
I didn't talk about the concussions movie.
Yeah, yeah.
They retired. He was phenomenal in that film. They stupid. I ain't got time. I get what they're saying, but I'm sorry. He's one of our greatest actors. That's an honor. Let's get this straight. Hold on. Let me just clarify this. For us to play one of y'all roles, especially one of our top actors like Will Smith, for him to play one of y'all roles is an honor. Okay, be grateful that we would actually portray one of your ancestors. We still we've got hundreds. We don't even have to volunteer to go overseas to do movies. There's plenty for us to do here. We don't have to tell y'all stories. And let's be real, had Will Smith not done that film, a lot of people wouldn't have seen it. Most people wouldn't go see that film, not based on a story, but for real, because of Will Smith. It's a Will Smith film. He's a blockbuster. He makes blockbusters. Of course we're going to go support him, FBA specifically. Moreover, a lot of FBAs want to support that film if somebody like Will Smith wasn't playing that role. So y'all know what it is. Even non-FBAs, a lot of non-FBAs wouldn't have seen that movie if Will Smith wasn't in that role. So let's just be real. Y'all need us. Okay, it's not the same when y'all play us and we playing y'all. When we're playing y'all are benefiting. When you play us, we're not benefiting from that. We have plenty of us who can play ourselves. And we're going to make money. And they're popular. And they're going to sell tickets because of their face. That's not the other way around. It's not the same the other way around. So stop playing.
Okay. Somebody's like, his accent was disrespectful. Here's the thing. Will Smith is not Nigerian. Okay? I guess he tried to put on a Nigerian accent, which a lot, if y'all didn't like, that's one thing. But was he trying to be disrespectful? No, he was not trying to be disrespectful. He bought on the role because he thought it was an important story to tell. Okay? He bought on the role because, trust me, Will Smith don't need to be he's not desperate for roles like that. People throwing him roles left and right. I promise you that. Will Smith did not need to play that role, but he took on that role because he saw the importance of that story and said that, you know what, that story needs to be told. All right. So he decided to play that role because, to be honest, y'all talk about Nigerian actors. There ain't nobody. Let's be honest. If you was to cast somebody besides Will Smith, folks would not even care about that movie. Y'all might be offended, but there's not a single Nigerian actor that's on the level of Will Smith, not even close. Okay? The reason people went to see that movie is because Will Smith is a movie star. And people are going to see a movie that Will Smith is in, no matter what Will Smith is doing in that movie. Okay, no matter who he's playing. If you was to cast, and if y'all wanted to, if y'all was to cast a Nigerian actor and the accent was great or whatever the case is, you wouldn't have gotten half the people to see the movie as you would have if Will Smith was. And y'all know I'm not lying. Don't lie to yourself. There's not. Okay, and Will Smith did not do anything disrespectful. He didn't. He tried to tell y'all's story. Okay, that's the thing. It's not a gig to him because he could have done something different. Now, a couple of people.
At that point,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, there's something that I wanted to chime in about. It's something that's unique about our people. We actually take the time to learn about other cultures and learn the history of the characters that we're playing. I don't see the same energy when it comes to any of our people and our icons here in the United States. Like you have the people that come over here to United States, like the British actors. They don't know who Harriet Tubman is. They don't know who Coretta Scott King is. And keep in mind, these people are world icons. They're not just big in United States. They're big around the world. Their names ring bells. And for them not taking the time out to know who our icons are shows how I'll say envious that they are against our community. But we take the time to know their people. We take the time to learn their roles. Like you go through and ask some of these actors, like the Will Smith, the Forrest Whitakers, and all that. They go down and break the history of the role of the character that they're playing. That's the crazy thing about this stuff. But I just wanted to highlight that nuance. That we're not our icons who actually did the work, right? Who actually changed the world is being devalued in real time.
Okay, that's true. That's true, and it does. It waters it down. We're not just saying this. We're not just saying this because this is some type of superiority. Y'all not doing the job right, and y'all don't want to accept that. But y'all not doing the job right. Okay, that's the truth. Basic, you wanted to add on to that, right?
Yeah, I wanted to say because I kind of made this point and they still missed it. Saying that Black Americans are portraying Africans, these are American films. Can any of y'all tell us any opportunities that Black immigrants in Europe or Africa or anywhere else have offered any roles to Black Americans? No. We allow y'all to come over here and be in our movies, from the low budget movies to the high budget movies. Like y'all are always involved, but y'all don't involve us in anything. And that's the point that we're making. Y'all sitting here talking about Will Smith. That's a movie that was made here, and it was about Black American football players for the most part. And one Nigerian doctor. But I mean, y'all just missing the point as usual. It's about the reciprocity of it. It's always us giving and y'all taking. That's how this relationship has always been. It's always just y'all benefiting off of us. What are y'all doing for us in return? You know what I'm saying? Has any of our actors been given, like, you know what I'm saying, any type of role from, do y'all even have like movie studios and stuff in Africa? Not being funny, but like, do y'all like make movies and stuff over there like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure they do. I know they do in UK, and y'all not offering us no roles over there like that. I don't know any of our actors that get roles over there. I think Denzel may have recently got one. I can't remember, but that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the same. These are movies made in this country, not in Africa, not in UK.
Okay, my fault, y'all. My bad. Let me allow the panel to be a tad bit more open. Excuse me. Multitasking is something, ain't it? Ain't it? All right. But yeah, this, first off, that's a very bad comparison. It's a bad comparison because it really verifies what we're saying. Okay? Because y'all can't bring up a Black American, a foundational Black American actor or actress that is consistently given roles to play y'all community and is also disrespecting them at the same time. Hold on,
The
ma'am. Ma'am, the host is speaking, ma'am.
oh, I didn't.
Ma'am, the host is speaking. Hold on.
You were,
I don't know if it's a delay or anything like that.
yeah, you were like not in the
Um,
back.
I'm
It's glitching.
Okay, okay. Well, okay. We're glitching. Somebody said we're glitching. Okay. Well, I'm asking you where your people.
Good
Where's your
now.
lineage from? Where's your? Okay. I don't know. Where's your lineage from?
African American.
So your parents both are descendant of American chattel slavery,
Indeed. That's what African
and are
American
you
is.
okay? Not because no, because some people are claiming to be African American and they're direct descendants or they're direct immigrants from Africa. You got Myron Gaines and Elon Musk and a whole Mandani who's Indian claiming to be African American. So we can't just go with that. There's a lot of people who are not of the lineage claiming to be an African American. Now, let me ask you this. Now, you're
I didn't know
saying,
that. I didn't know
yeah,
Mara thought he was African American.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
That's
even look
no,
African American.
no, ain't no.
No,
Yeah,
that's
not from
insane.
us.
But
Now,
I'm not gonna say that no more because I didn't even know people was doing that.
yeah, folks are doing that. Are you above 18? Are you over 18?
Yes.
All right. Elon, yeah, yeah, they doing that. There's articles of them doing that. I don't know if he's done it himself, but people have claimed he's an African American. I mean, you can't use that. We gotta retire that term. So, what do you think about the prompt?
I was just gonna say, I don't know because I've been an actor, so I kind of understand that when we talking about like quality actresses, it's less contingent on their racial identity. It's more contingent on your ability to play this role, to convey this story. And I'm not gonna lie, Cynthia may be, she may be problematic, but that bitch can act. When she played Harriet Tubman, she ate that role. I'm not. I can't.
Mm,
She did.
there's a
Like
lot of people who didn't like that. Let's be honest. There's a lot of people. I don't know if you're a fan of Cynthia Erivo, but a lot of people. This is what a lot of people said. I guess I got to go through a Rolodex. A lot of people said that they felt like Viola Davis would have been a much, much, much better pick to play Harriet Tubman. Which is
that.
interesting because then they had her play an African in the Woman King movie, which was a few years
hmm
later.
They
They had
did,
her play that.
and
You
that
know
was
what I'm saying?
insane too.
And I'm all like, okay, if she could do that, she could have been the absolute her range. Her first off, she would have just put people in the seats just by being Viola Davis anyway.
That's a
But all
fact.
of that stuff, she would have been a much better pick. The thing is that let's be honest, Cynthia Erivo did not kill the role as Harriet Tubman. She didn't. Come on now, don't lie, don't lie
She
now.
did do good. I think okay. If we're
I don't
talking
know.
about comparing Viola to Cynthia, I'm not gonna lie. She probably would have been a way better fit,
Okay.
just because everybody knows when
Okay.
Viola play a movie, when she in a movie, your ass gonna cry.
Okay.
But
Here's the thing. She might first off, Cynthia. Even if we go with the argument, because this is now we were getting into subjective arguments, whether she's a good actress or a bad actress. Let's say she's a great actress, but is that enough for her to play a role of a lineage she's not a part of? That's the question. Let's just say for the sake of the argument, she's phenomenal. An award-winning actress for the sake of the argument, so we don't have to go into that because then we get into people's different interpretations of her role. But is that right there enough for her to play of a culture she's number one not a part of, and number two, more importantly, has disrespected on numerous occasions?
I think in like if you're actually in cinematic theatrical spaces, you understand that people don't care about like the intricacies of the person, more so the person's ability to execute the role in a way that garners
No, that's not
more
true.
production.
That's not true. Let me tell you something. If Cynthia now let's because we already know how she gets down. If Cynthia Erivo had said something that people found to be homophobic, and then Cynthia Erivo had multiple tweets of her going off on the LGBT community, she would not be given a role to play no quote unquote icon in the LGBT community. She would not. They would not give her that role given that controversy. She wouldn't. but yet she can disrespect black people, black Americans, and be given a role as black Americans. So, because we're less respected, we're
She
taking
would
less
not.
privilege.
They
Hold
would
on.
not.
But we already understand the plight of black people, though.
No, no,
Nobody
no.
cares about our
It's
issues.
not about understanding the plight. It's about respecting the plight, and not
But
disrespecting the
this
plight.
society has never done that. They hate us.
And it needs to start. And it's not gonna do that if you excuse it. You're up here making an excuse and saying
No,
that, well, I mean,
I'm
she's a
not
great
making an
actress, so
excuse
it's
because I think we
okay.
actually agree.
It's
I'm just
okay.
stating the simple realities of this industry.
Okay, the industry is going to learn because the industry is learning the hard way. To be very honest, because people are not going to see these movies. These movies are not making the profit that the industry wants the movie to make. They're not.
And she would
Okay,
be
these movies are becoming a hit and a miss, not even a hit, a direct miss. These movies are missing the mark consistently and consistently. It would be one thing if these movies were turning over a massive profit, but these movies aren't. A lot of these movies are barely breaking even because the community is saying we don't appreciate that representation and are not going to see it, and they keep forcing it on us. That's the difference. You understand what I'm saying? Because for you to portray now, it was like I'm saying, it would be one thing if she was just playing just a woman who happened to have lived during slavery, okay, a freedman or something like that, or whatever the case is. But for her to play a real person, that's a completely different thing.
host.
That's a
Can
completely different thing.
host? Can I say something?
Hold on. Do you get what I'm saying, right? You understand that?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just think because I've been in the industry, I think like it's just a general disinterest in your intrinsic background. Like they really don't care, honestly.
They're not gonna care unless we let them,
But I
because
do,
we don't
but I do
expect.
get what you're saying. We should
Yeah,
advocate more for our community, and
yeah,
I agree with that. Because
yeah.
gatekeeping
Uh-huh.
and making sure we're an advocate of our own stories, I completely
Yeah.
understand that. I was just
It's not.
advocating for the industry I'm in and their complete racist like
Yeah, we
disposition,
get that. We get
regardless.
that though. We get that though. The thing is that it's not for them to care. It's for us to care. And we have to care so much that they have to take what we consider serious. That's what it is. They don't have to like it. They don't have to dislike it. They don't have to want to do the right thing. But they have to understand that there's going to be repercussions for not doing the right thing. Don't matter what they want to do. All right. You understand? So I guess we can move on. Laura, you said you had a question.
No, I was gonna even say I even seen a video of her. She was actually like on stage and mocking Christ and all of that nonsense. She's not someone who should play anyone because the truth is she's doing that just for approval from the white folks. She don't care about black culture and black history or nothing. She's just a puppet to me.
Okay. Real quick, where's your lineage from? Where are you from?
My mom is St. Lucian, my dad is Trinidadian. I was born in St. Lucian. I've lived here 17 years.
Are you 17?
No, I'm 24. I've lived in America 17 years, but I was born on the islands. Yes.
Okay. All right, because we can't have nobody 17 now. We gotta
Oh
have
no no
everybody
no no.
18 and up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I saw that a lot of people didn't like that either. The thing where I guess she did some type of baptism where she was Christ, and a lot of people thought that was creepy and disrespectful, and
No,
a lot.
and I think what they try to do was cover to make it like it was Christ, but it was a mock to slavery though, because you have to understand the similarities. You get it, like with the whipping and the. So I feel like what it really was is to mock slavery, and they just used her as like to laugh, but they try to cover it up with like the Christ thing at the end. But to me, it just gave me a insult, and for her to even take that role on is like. You're a joke because with Hollywood, when they always try to portray Christ, they always use a white man. So why all of a sudden would they use a black woman that looks like that for that specific show? That wasn't, to me, that really wasn't about Christ. They just try to like act like it was. But to me, I think it was about slavery, and it was like more of like a laugh. Like, look at you. We're using you for, You know,
I gotta go. Yeah, let me look. I've seen some clips of that, but I'm gonna have to look into that. That's very interesting. I know a lot of people didn't like that, but just to be careful, from now on, say YT, because the TikTok algorithm is, they be tripping on us. Which, by the way, can y'all tap the screen, please? Can y'all tap the screen? I would greatly appreciate that if everybody starts tapping the screen.
but if you see the video, you will understand what I'm saying, because everyone know Hollywood, and Hollywood always portray Christ as a white man. So for them to just randomly use her, and with the
say YT next time, okay?
oh, white tea. So for them to randomly use her like that, and I think it was mocking slavery, but I think they wanted to kind of cover it up with the Christ thing. But nobody's stupid, because everyone know anytime you see a Hollywood movie, they use white tea people for Christ. So why would you just use her?
All biblical features, people, all biblical people, whether that's Christ, Noah, Moses, Adam, it don't matter. They will use a YT man for that.
Exactly, and they take that serious. So why would they just use her? And they're whipping, and he's screaming. It just gave me a slavery master type of vibe. And then they kind of finished it off with the whole Christ thing, and it's like, come on now.
Yeah. She shouldn't be playing that. Yeah, you got people not even FBA who don't like Cynthia Erivo. Nobody likes Cynthia Erivo. I'm saying nobody likes Cynthia Erivo. BX, you haven't really spoken that much yet, so I'm gonna let you get a chance to say what you have to say about the situation. If you have any thoughts.
Y'all can hear me? Because my phone was acting up. I had to drop. She gotta go. And I think that we need to do something for the movie section only. I don't know if they're not getting the message or what. I don't understand why they think she should play any one of our icons. And this is the issue that I have personally. It's like they're not respectful to our history. They just think it's what we want to see at the time. So then they pick somebody like her. No way, shape, form, or fashion do I even think that she is a biased, let alone a full Black American. You get it? So I think that we need to stand outside the movie theater on premiere night and boycott with old-fashioned picket signs. Because they're just not getting it. And obviously, they don't have a social media team, and we got to get the message to them. But I am serious about that, y'all. But we have to start boycotting Hollywood until it makes an effect. As Afro Lee has stated before, Ryan Coogler pretty much saved Hollywood with Sinners. And everybody rushed, they love that. People are still saying they should see Sinners. People have seen Sinners about 3-4 times. He has the formula on what makes a great movie. The people who's casting Cynthia Erivo doesn't. And I'm not going to watch any of her movies, and I implore you guys to boycott her too, because this is just ridiculous. We have FBA in acting school, probably, film school. Heck, you could get some sitting in the park, drinking some coffee. That's going to look, sound, and play a better role than Cynthia Erivo would. So I just wish they would put our actors back to use, because we have an emotional connection to our icons and to our heroines and to our legends. And it's time to make Hollywood, the Black side, the Black American side, Black American again, y'all. I'll land.
And can you play the video of her on stage, if you don't mind? Because I want everyone to see.
Yeah, I was going to ask, can I speak, host, when he get back?
Yeah, I don't have the video on deck, but V2, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to
Wait, hold on, real quick. ZZ, do you have anything you want to add or no?
That called the end of BX. I ain't really catch the beginning of what she was saying, but go ahead.
All right, V2, you got it.
One thing about me, I'm very observant and I listen to things and I can see through things. Lori, something about Lori, she said she was from Trinidad or something. So she's like a Black immigrant. The way that you were talking, Lori, it seemed like underhanded. It seemed like you were just like, you were throwing, what you said Cynthia Erivo was doing was like kind of like how you really feel, because you were saying like, yeah, she was playing the role to mock slavery, like ha ha ha, like I don't know what you mean when you say that. Like, what
No,
is
but
there
you
to?
have to. Okay,
Let
listen,
me
listen.
finish. Let me finish. What is there to really mock? And then, like you said, it sounds like you just have a lot of like disdain towards Black Americans, and you're trying to you're
No,
trying to act like you don't. Like, this is what we talk about when we delineate from you guys, because it's a lot of jealousy, but it comes across as like unity, like, oh, we're all Black and we're all united, but
no,
we can hear the
that's
jealousy.
your personal perception. When he asked where I was from, I explained how long I've lived here, which is most of my life. I've just turned 24. So if any parent brings their child to America, obviously they're gonna adapt to the culture. That doesn't make me Black American. No, I'm still Saint Lucian and Trinidadian. I was born in Saint Lucia. I came here when I was six turning seven, and that's it. But that doesn't mean there's a jealousy. I'm speaking about Cynthia because she's mocking. The stuff she's doing is very inappropriate. That has nothing to do with me. You just took it as that. I don't know if it's because I didn't come on here and claim to be Black American or something. I adapted to the Black American culture because I came here as a little child. That doesn't make me Black American. So what's your issue?
Yeah, you're definitely not Black American. I
I
think
never
that's the
said I
thing.
was, though, sir. So what are you talking about?
I just think, like I just said, it was basically how you were just talking about how they were mocking. Like
No, I
you
don't
said,
mock.
Cynthia.
You
No, I said,
adapt. If
let me
you bring
finish.
any child to America
Let
at a
me
small age,
finish.
they're gonna adapt. Whether
Okay,
whatever.
well, he's okay. Um,
I was just
get to
trying to say,
finish, and
like,
then Lori, you'll get to respond, and then we'll
we'll
move
move
on.
on. Yeah, I just said I was trying to figure out what you meant when you said she took the role to mock slavery. You kept saying that she took the role to mock slavery, like ha ha ha. Like, what did you mean when you said that?
No, because when she was on stage, it was a Hollywood event, and the event was supposed to be for Christ. Like it was
No, I said slavery. I
yeah,
said
I'm gonna
slavery.
explain to you. It was supposed to depict Christ and what happened with him and everything. But they used her. And I said I found it weird that they used her because in Hollywood the white tea people always use a white tea person. You get it? So I said for her they put her on there to depict slavery because it was the whipping and the stuff, and that's yes, it's similar to what happened with Christ, but they purposely did that to mock and laugh at the slavery aspect of it. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm still
it's
confused, but
really
we'll
just
move on.
at this point, it's really just a misunderstanding based off of misinterpretation of people's stance on things. But you cleared that up, and he asked you a question about what you meant by that, and you cleared it up. So now we're gonna move on to other speakers. All right. So glad we got that cleared up. Deborah, sister, how you doing?
Oh, I am good. I'm glad I jumped on. I was like, because Shaka Khan is my era. And when I tell you, she was the body. We wore our hair like Shaka, our bodies were like Shaka. This girl cannot play Shaka Khan. And I am incensed, and at the bottom of my heart, I'm insulted. First of all, I can read her spirit. There's something about her. If you really watch her, and I'm not trying to denigrate her, she reminds me of a spider. And anybody that's spiritual, you know what I'm saying. Even in her movements, they're quite disquieting. I would never let any of my grandchildren go see anything she has going on. See, and the reason why they picked her because it's disrespectful. You don't have any Black artists, FBAs that could play her. I want to know there's no way that she can embody Shaka Khan. And Shaka Khan is funny. She's even like how, what that boy said to the wire, Kanye, she's still insulted about that. So I wonder if she's on board with this. It's just the time where she feels like it has to be. But I'm proud of you guys. You stand up for our icons. We can play ourselves. Nobody can play me better than I can play me. And I was a teenager during those years. And when I tell you, going into a young adult, boy, and when she was laying on that sheet, I'll never forget it being in school and the boys went crazy. Go look at her old album and she's got her foot up in the air, and her feet are dirty. I was like, because she was sexy, salty, and everything you thought you wanted to be as a Black girl at that time. I just do not see Cynthia Erivo being able to. She doesn't come from our background. She can't even bring that up, and she doesn't even have the figure for us. It's going to be very interesting how they try to do that. And I go with BX. No, you're gonna respect my dollar, and if you can't respect my dollar, I am not going to buy your tickets, which are sky high anyway. We just have to say we're gonna shut it down. We have to pick it. What has worked, what is old is new, and what's new is old. It's worked for us before. We need our black directors to do our black biopics, because only, like I'll say it again, I don't mean to be redundant, only we can do we the way we need to be done. And I'm very proud of you all for bringing this up. And next time you watch her, even in her movement, just go at a deeper level. See, they're not selling to us; they're selling to the outside world, and they're trying to push an agenda down not only our throats but other people's throats, saying, "Oh, we have to get British actors." Can we go to Britain? Can our actors go to Britain and take over the whole sphere? You gonna tell me Idris Elba, and he's just the kind I like. I like my men black like I like my coffee. But we don't have any homegrown Idris Elbas here? Yes, we do.
Good
Yes, we
point.
do. And we need to tell them we're gonna take our dollars away from them. I land my plan and thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's get to El Vito.
Yeah, hello.
El Vito. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I think she might be a great fit for this movie. You know, the way she acts. I think she played in a good, several good movies, like The Wizard of Oz, all those other movies. She played really good. So they probably just based off of her acting skills. She was a good actress, and she's pretty good, I think. So
You think she's a good fit to play Shaka Khan?
yeah, yeah. So they must not be looking at.
Where are your people
So
from?
that's not the case.
No, it is the
That's
case because
besides that's
I
besides the
asked you the
case.
question. No, it's the case, and that's how I know
You
you're
didn't
not
tell
from
the
here.
you
Where are
didn't
your people from?
you
Where are
didn't
your
ask the
people
lady
from?
before me.
Huh?
Why
I
why
did
you ask
ask.
me?
Moment, one
I
moment.
know
My
everybody's lineage
apologies.
up here for the most part.
Um,
I'm asking you, where's your lineage from?
we ask everybody that, sir. I just wasn't here to set the room, the decorum for the room. I was
Yeah.
late. If you've been in the room,
For the
I was
most part,
late.
we know everybody
Yeah.
else's lineage. So if we allow them to speak, it's because we already know. I don't know your lineage. I know it's not from here, but where is it?
Sorry, in the South, the
In
deep
the
South,
south of what? Africa? Where in the south? Where? What south of where?
Alabama.
Okay, you're gonna get kicked off if you keep lying. Tell the truth, man. Why y'all hide so much? That's so cowardly.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like I'm telling you, like my lineage.
Where's your lineage from? Where are both your parents' lineages from?
They so it's like Ocala, Florida, and Alabama.
Alabama and Florida is not a lineage.
So like like
Where's your country of origin? If I ask you that one more time, it's over with for you. Your parents' countries of origin outside of America, prior to America. Where did they
no,
immigrate
they
from?
from they full blood American. They full blood American, both sides.
No.
They
They're not. I don't
from
believe it.
Choctaw.
Because you would have said that you would have just been transparent when I first asked you that. But the fact that you instinctively had this knee jerk reaction to hide your lineage shows that your lineage isn't from here, and now you're still trying to hide it. So we're just gonna move on. We don't because
So like you gotta like
if you don't
explain
have
yourself.
stop it. If you don't have the decency, okay, and the spine to just be honest about your lineage, you saw the young girl. She was honest about her lineage. So if you don't have the decency, if you don't have the spine that young girl had to be honest about your lineage, then we don't need to hear what you have to say, honestly.
I literally just told you,
No,
Choctaw,
you're lying.
Alabama.
You're done. No, stop it. No, we're not doing that. Tell the truth. Now we'll let you. Here's the thing. We'll let you speak. Just tell the truth. We can tell if you lie. We
Can
have
I
these
go?
conversations too
Or
often not to be able to tell. We can tell when you lying. I can tell when he was lying.
Did he not understand the word, Leo? Did he know what lineage meant? Because I got the impression he didn't know what that word meant.
That nigga was a lying, dusty ass tether. Another one
Okay,
bites
I'm
the
giving him
dust.
more credit then. Okay.
Is it okay if I have a
Line,
turn?
Leo. It's the hairline.
It's an
Come on.
order. It's an order. I'm not
How
sure
you
who
know he
goes
was
next.
lying? How you know he was lying is because when I asked him, he said that didn't matter. If he didn't want to hide it, he wouldn't have had this knee jerk reaction to deflect from where he's from.
Oh,
When I
I
ask
know
other people where they're
him.
from, they all like
Hold
that.
on.
So no, he's lying. Everybody like, oh no, he
Wait.
is. They lie. They lie all the time. We are no.
I'll be Afro Elite. I've had a few interactions with Alvito. Alvito, can you comment if you're from upstate New York? Yes or
Alvito
no,
sounds like
sir?
a Hispanic name to me anyway. To be very honest with you, it sounds like
Right.
a
And he
Puerto
never
Rican or
knew what a
Dominican name anyway.
freedman was. So what ticked me off about him is one day we were having a panel and he said he was from upstate New York, but he didn't know what a freedman was, but he said he was young. But I don't know if that's an excuse anymore in this day and age. So he's a little bit problematic. He is from upstate New York. He might be bi-ethnic, but he always says he's from the deep South. He just lives up, was raised up in New York. But I don't know. I don't know, guys. He's a shifty one. There's something weird with him, but he is from upstate New York. If he can you comment yes or no, Alvito? But y'all could continue. I did have a few discussions with him, and he's iffy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
See, but my lineage goes
All right,
back to the South.
let's get to
Yeah.
Kay. Kay, where are you from? Where's your lineage from?
So obviously, I wouldn't be honest unlike that person. I'm Somali, but the reason why I actually don't agree that this lady should play this role because I used to when I was younger. So my parents came in the '90s in Canada, and like I used to see so many like Black American movies, like if you guys know like Black Gun and like Cleopatra Jones, like you guys know Brenda Skies. So nowadays they want to like portray like Black women who are like dark skinned that are American as like unattractive and whatever. But why don't they just get a conventionally attractive Black woman who's American with an afro? Because all of them are bald headed now. That's what they like to do. So my friend also models and she's dark skinned. They want to shave off her bald head. That's what they do now. And I don't know why this is a reoccurring problem. It's like where are like the celebrities who are Black American like Brenda Skies? Like it doesn't make any sense. What happened to that? So I just have a reoccurring issue because I work in the modeling and sometimes I wear the hijab and they want me to shave off my head. I have an afro. What's the point? I'm Somali. What's the point? But they always do this to the darker skinned people, but never the mixed people. They never ever, or the light skinned people, they never ever do this. So me, I don't relate in that way, but like it's a problem with they always do that to like darker skinned Black women. So why don't they just get a Black American woman who's conventionally attractive? That doesn't make any sense.
That's very true. That's very true. It's a very backhanded thing, and I'm glad that you brought that point up. There was a woman who went viral like a month or two ago, and she was talking about like the modeling industry and the beauty industry,
Hmm.
and I kind of looked into that because as a male, I don't, that's not something that comes up on my timeline often. So I looked into that a little bit, and it is something that I've noticed, and it is something that a lot of models.
Hmm.
Okay, somebody is BX. What is this about? Contains themes that might remove. Who is that?
Okay, so I'm going to ask everybody, be careful what you comment in the chat. So certain groups are protected, and so I'm gonna ask everybody to watch the lingo in the chat. I didn't really hear too much, you know, unfriendly TikTok words on the panel, or somebody could have been reporting for a certain, because they didn't like what you said, but it wasn't enough to bring the live down yet.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
watch
So, yeah.
your verbiage, please, in the chat. Thank
Yeah,
you.
everybody, and tap the screen too. Tap the screen. That's very true what you said about the whole modeling industry. And what they like to do, they like to have these very and I'm not saying this to be shady, I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, but they do like to have a very kind of like you said, unconventional looking dark skinned woman. And what they do is they have her in like a lineup of women who are not dark skinned and they got long hair and all of that stuff. And this woman sticks out like a sore thumb. And objectively speaking, she's the most, I'm not even gonna say ugly, but she's the most odd looking person.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And they do this as a way of disrespect. Okay, which is why they're giving her these roles because there's a lot of very gorgeous very dark skinned women who would be willing to play these roles, but they're deliberately picking someone whose physique doesn't really look that good, whose face isn't really that cute,
Yeah,
who don't got no hair, don't got no eyebrows, and is disrespectful, you
yeah.
know.
So also, I've noticed it because as I said, my parents came in the '90s, so I grew up watching a lot of Black American films. And now, like the way that they show Black American women, it's ridiculous. Like most Black American women have good bodies. It doesn't even make any sense. But they want to show them bald headed. I never associated Black Americans bald headed. I never associated. Nowadays, people are gonna associate with that, right? So to me, obviously, it just like I'm watching like it's just different now. It's worse because how is it 2025? The representation is worse now. I'm not saying Cynthia's ugly. I didn't say that. I don't call people ugly, by the way. I just wanted to clear that up. But it's there's conventionally attractive and there's something that's different, right?
Yeah, I didn't call nobody ugly either. I'm not saying that, but let's be. Yeah, there is a thing. Come on now, we not gonna act like we knew. We not gonna act like that. Come on, we not gonna do
Listen,
that.
Afro. Our elders would have called her funny looking. That's a funny looking
Yes,
girl.
come on.
Yeah.
We not gonna act like we don't see what we see now. We not gonna act
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, like we're even like I'm just questioning because I'm not Black American, so I don't know. But where's like the Black American girls who are like dark skin with afros? Like that looks beautiful. I don't understand. What's the point? Like what's going on? Like why is it bald headed, fat? I don't understand.
That's true. That is who gets promoted the most. Let's get to the next. But thank you, Kay, and I appreciate it. Let's get to the next speaker. Let's get to uh. Let me see. What's your name? How you say? Renee or Rini? Yeah. How you doing? How you doing, sister? How you
Yeah, I'm
doing?
good. How are you? So I wanted to say real quick, um, I'm disgusted. I cannot stand Cynthia Erivo from the very first time I ever saw or heard anything from her. It really made me mad that she was able to even play Harriet Tubman. Why? Why? That was just that she never should have even been considered for that role. Secondly, does anybody know what what is it, Ava DuVernay? I think she's the one responsible for this Shaka Khan film coming up. What is her background? What's her lineage? Because she needs to be tapped on her shoulder for even considering this broad for the part. But I also wanted to say I agree with the speaker who said, Shaka Khan was a bad girl in her day. Like she still is, but back in her day, she had body for days. She even had when I was in school, even the little boys, were crazy about her. So how they could even think to put this chick in that role is just absolutely beyond me. But I agree, it's time for us to make some noise. She's got to go. I mean, she's already been allowed to disrespect, Harriet Tubman and even who else did she play? Aretha Franklin. Enough. This has gone beyond ridiculous, and I really think they need to hear from us. So I'll land with that.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a very busy day. I'm in and out. Gotta be in and out. Very busy. But I appreciate everybody who's liking. We can have a little bit more likes now. We can at least have. We have like over 200. We can at least have 50,000. Y'all being stingy. Y'all Cynthia Erivo fans. That's what it is. Okay, I get it. I get it. I guess. Come on now. Let's get to. We'll get to a friend and then call me Chris.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Look, I totally agree
Hey,
with
real
everyone.
quick. Where's your lineage?
Uh, I don't. First of all, man, I have a speech impediment, so you know what I'm saying, man. If I pause, you know what I'm saying, I think I'm just stuttering. But I'm originally from Kentucky, but I trace my lineage back to a plantation in Galveston, Texas, called the White Sloan Plantation.
Okay. All right.
All right, so once again, man, I stutter when I talk, so you know what I'm saying. But I totally agree with everyone. She should not play this role at all. I don't know if people actually saw the movie Harriet, but like there was a scene where like she actually slept with the owner. She actually slept with the slave owner. You know what I'm saying? And that was like like a fabricated plot point in that movie that made everybody mad. You know what I'm saying? Made her never did anything like that. And I think that these Africans don't. Yeah, my bad, man. I gotta go, man. My job's calling. But yeah, all right, everybody.
You work at the circus? Okay. Um, call me Chris. You got it.
Wait,
I'm weak. You pop your head back in with that noise. It's funny as shit.
wait. He said that. Did he just say that Harriet Tubman slept with like this actor? She slept with a
In the
slave master
movie,
in the show.
I heard it. That's what happened. But hi, guys. I'm Kobe
What the?
Chris. I am American, Black American. My lineage I can trace back to a plantation in Virginia. Don't remember the name, but I know it happened. So I am a fundamental Black American on both sides. So there's that. Now regarding the prompt, I have not and probably will not ever be a Cynthia Erivo fan. The first time I was ever introduced to her, she was being disrespectful towards FBAs. She had a whole lot to say without, and that's part of my problem. A lot of people have a lot to say without any actual knowledge apart from what someone told them one time, in passing about the experiences of America. Having her play roles of people who are very monumental to our culture, Aretha Franklin, Harriet Tubman, and I'm assuming because Shaka is up there, she's up for a role with Shaka Khan or something. I don't know. I refuse to watch anything that she has anything to do with. I want not even an interview. I won't see anything she's in because she started out wrong. I can't think of one time brown Americans go to other people's countries. I'm not saying assume the job. A job is a job, but we don't go being disrespectful. I have never gone to be disrespectful and make fun and do any of that other shit. So, yeah, I don't think that she's anywhere near icon status. We have plenty of brown American talent here that could have played any one of these roles, that should have played any one of these roles. And I really sincerely don't understand how she gets to where she is. I don't know. You asked about Ava DuVernay. I don't know where she's from, but I'm starting to wonder because she's been really instrumental in a lot of movies that have such high acclaim. But the leading actors, aren't generally American. Like Selma, didn't she do Selma? That movie?
If I'm not mistaken, she did.
Okay, so
Yeah.
she did Selma, and the gentleman that did Martin Luther King is British.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I'm like there are several. I mean,
Real
I
quick.
love Idris in the way.
They're saying that her lineage is Creole. I gotta make a distinction, okay? Just because I rock with my Louisiana family. There's a difference between Louisiana Creole and Haitian Creole. There's people of the lineage who are Creole from Louisiana, and then there are people who are Haitian who are Creole. Just because you hear the word Creole don't mean Haitian. I'm not saying she's not, but I tried to do a little bit of digging yesterday, and they said she was Creole. That's not enough for me to say she's Haitian, though, because I do know we got Black American Creole. So I just
Sure.
want to just to I ain't gonna let no disrespect to my Louisiana family happen. Can't let that slide.
Well, there's also apart from Haitian Creole, there's some African countries that speak Creole as well. Like
Yeah.
apparently there's more than one dialect. I learned that last year. I was like, oh, I didn't even know they existed. So there
So
is a lot of variations of Creole depending on where you're from.
yeah, they speak it in Sierra Leone and in Congo and in Uganda.
So
So, but it's like some of them are more Arabic based, like in Uganda. So, not Creole does not mean always like and also they speak
But in
Russian
the
too.
United States, my mother's side, in fact, they're from Louisiana, and they're Creoles. And I tell people, Creoles can be passe blanc, or they can be blacker than black. They come in all different colors, and
Mm-hmm.
now they separate themselves. But I can remember my grandmother, my great grandmothers talking about it. That has always come under the heading as that you're a Black American. Now they want to separate it and act like that's a whole different ethnic group. We're just mixed with French, some of the Spanish, and indigenous or Aboriginal peoples.
I have a
So
question.
I
I
can
have a
speak.
question.
I can speak to that. I just want to say this point. So I know even Beyonce, they're Creoles, but that's still just a subset of being a foundational Black American. They're not a
Yeah.
separate ethnic group.
Yeah,
I
like
have
in
a question for
Uganda.
everybody in the
So,
panel, specifically for the Louisiana. Anybody who knows anything about the Louisiana people, and
I do.
correct me if I'm wrong. Cajun people are generally white people, white tea people, right?
You said Haitian?
Haitian,
Cajun
No,
is
Cajun,
it can
Cajun.
be some black
Cajun
Cajun. It
are
can be
white.
Asian Cajun.
Yes, yes.
It can be
well,
They're
white
French
Cajun.
They can.
Arcadians.
Okay, because
I'm gonna
I
tell you
have
where
a
they come from. They're French Arcadians that, because of their religious views, they left Canada and came down to Louisiana. And as far as the Cajun people, now all of a sudden they're doing gumbo and jambalaya. That is not their food. That is our food. That is Creole food. That's Creole cuisine. You know, we'll take something out of nothing and make it a gourmand, right? Make it a gourmet dish. So yeah, Cajuns are
you better.
traditionally are white tea people. The Creoles are just a mix, just mixed blacks. That's all we are. That's it. It's kind of
yeah,
plain language,
Because
right?
the
That's all we
Creole
are.
that's spoken, we have three different Creoles in the United States. The Creole that is spoken in Haiti is not the Creole that's spoken in Louisiana, and it's not the
No,
Creole
it's
that is
not.
spoken in Africa. Creole means
No, it's not.
mixed, mixed languages,
Right.
mixed race. Creole means mixed, and I am a descendant.
yeah. So that's a, yeah. It
Right.
isn't. You're right about that because again, they speak like this is Sierra Leone. It's English based, and then Central Africa Republic, and then it's more European based, and then one's Arabic based. So it's more so like the language family and also European lineage a bit because most
Yeah,
Ugandans
but
are
ours is a little
mulatto.
different. A little different, and
Okay.
unfortunately, in our family, they were made to feel so ashamed that our older generations they spoke the patois, but we do not.
Yeah.
I wish we had had the ability to learn, but just like they said, it was ebonics. There's no such thing. They were made to be ashamed, so they stopped speaking the language. I think my grandfather and them were probably the last ones that actually could actually speak uh, fluently in it. But you
Hmm.
do have pockets, and there's people in Louisiana that do still practice, still speak it. I would encourage them, teach your young people, because that's part of my heritage that I can't even participate in.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
real
have
quick,
a question. Oh, sorry.
you get your last question now, and then we're gonna get back to the prompt.
I want to ask, like,
Okay.
were they doing that because they were lighter skinned, or was it like, why were they like discriminating against them, their language? Because in Africa, it's more so like it doesn't, people just happen to speak different Creoles, and it is what it is.
Because here they wanted everybody to be homogenized. And I'm gonna tell you, that's why I said I have the passe blancs. That means that's the ones that can pass for white tea people. Then I got some blacker than the ace of spades.
Mm-hmm.
So see, we have this myth that they're all like. No, they're not. Some of them look more Indian. Some of them look more European. There's all the they're Dimries. That's my mother's maiden name, or Dimmeray. They're all the same. All the same bloodline, same tree. When we have our children, I got three different colored babies. Do you see what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it's like a coin toss on what they're going to be, but it's a vibrant culture. But I always tell people this is a new generation where you separate. No, that's just a subset of being a foundational Black American. That's all it is. They're Black.
Oh,
They're
okay.
Black.
So it was more homogenous on the language rather than skin color. They wanted you guys to be homogenous with language.
Right. They just were made to feel ashamed, like they were backwards or they were country. Because they lived up. I've been up back where we lived. I would never live in.
Actually, they removed the languages out of the
Say
schools.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
You can look that up on your free
Yeah,
time.
right. And then
When did they do that?
Well, real quick.
well, I have to look it up.
Uh,
I had people that lived it. They were discouraged from speaking it. They wanted their children to actually speak English and speak it properly.
Barbara,
That's just my
so
she
take.
with
wasn't talking to you,
FBA Wolfie,
Deborah.
do you
She was
have
talking
anything?
to the young lady at the bottom.
Pardon?
You heard me, Deborah?
Sorry, I didn't.
Excuse me.
I kind of cut off. Yes.
Wolfie wasn't talking to you, Deborah. She was talking to the young lady who was asking the
Oh, okay. Oh,
question
I'm
at the
sorry. Beg
bottom.
your pardon.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
no problem.
FBA Wolfie, do you have anything on the prompt you want to
Thank you,
say?
thank
Comment,
you. I do
question?
want to say something about the prop. And representation matters. Representation matters. When she played in our roles, I have never seen a Black American look like her. She looked 100% Nigerian. And none of our Black Americans she represent look like her. Not one. She don't have our soul. She cannot sing like us. She's not shaped or anything. She is a 100% continental African. And I take these roles very important because like the young gentleman was saying earlier, I didn't go see the movie. I was protesting against the movie during that movie because I think no Africans should portray a black American, because the simple fact is y'all will say yes to things that we won't say yes to, such as sleeping with a European man on camera, as one of our great leaders of Harriet Tubman, and then making our black men look weaker than our strong black women. No, our black men is not submissive to a black woman. Has never been. Our black men are leaders. And I heard that movie portrayed that. I heard that movie portray our black men to be less than. Harriet Tubman wouldn't be as strong as she was if it wasn't for black men. And let's get that together because we work as a team. That's teamwork. That's how we became free. She didn't do it by herself. She had a team of people, and they included black men and women. But a black man can pick up a log and a tree that a black woman might not have to because we carrying our babies. But I just want y'all to think logically. Think logically, And we don't need these people representing us in movies, because in 100 years, our children who don't look like these people is gonna look back at these movies and be confused about who are these people on television. We need 100% of Black Americans, Afro-Indigenous like Shaka Khan to represent Shaka Khan. If you cannot find them, you need to host on calling, because we have talented Black Americans. Africans and Caribbeans, you need to stop portraying in Black American roles. Come in as your authentic self as an immigrant and see if you get that role. Coming in and portraying as Cynthia Erivo did as a Black American, and when they're asked you, are you Black American, you lied to get a role, it is wrong. And how dare you think that we're not supposed to say anything about it? Not only are we supposed to say something, you should get the 5-finger discount with a slap in the face for even portraying to be us, to take us out of that position of earnership. That's money you're taking away from my community, lying about who you are to get a role. So no, she should not ever work in. They need to stop pushing her on us, and we're
That's
getting louder and
very true.
louder
And
and louder.
I'm glad that you're speaking metaphorically, because we do not condone any violence, TikTok. She's speaking metaphorically, right? I'm sure you're speaking metaphorically.
I don't
Okay?
know the jig, but I said a 5-finger discount. I mean, if they put it in a written or a report, it's not going to be held up in court. Now, because they're going to say what is literally a 5-finger discount in court. I know how to say what I'm saying when I say it. But if my finger, it can be just smooth, slap your face, or it can just smooth, rub your face, however you want to take it. But it is disrespect. My point was how disrespectful it is for them to identify themselves as us to get a role. That was my point. And I'm sorry if it sounded like it was being violence, but it do bring you to that point. Is we fighting for identity among immigrants now when they have their own. They have their own production. Nollywood have their own production in Nigeria, where it's nothing but Nigerians acting there. Jamaica, Haiti, all these countries. But when it comes down to us, they want to be a part of our representation, playing us. And I think that's very disrespectful. And I end it right there.
Yep, I agree.
Also, is it true that because Shaka Khan has a daughter that looks just like her and can sing? I believe the daughter wanted to. Well, this is a rumor mill. Wanted to play, or she asked for the daughter to play that part. Why didn't nobody reach out to the daughter, even if the daughter didn't ask?
That should have been the first go-to. The only way you can pass the daughter up is if the daughter declined. That's the only logical explanation. Because Ice Cube had his son play him when they when they played the Straight Outta Compton movie. That was Ice Cube's son, who really, to be honest, kind of really took the movie, carried the movie, really. You know what I'm
They could have
saying?
also got Janelle Monáe, which is like that would have been a good option too.
I don't even know if there has been like an official green light, if Shaka Khan is actually like looking for a biopic of her thing. But I'm saying this to say, if there is going to have to be done right. And we've allowed this problem, because this is not the first offense or the second offense, to be honest. So we've allowed this problem in particular with Cynthia Erivo go on way too long. Way too long. We got to stop that.
Hey, I just thought of somebody. Y'all think Keke Palmer? I know she got a little controversial, but she is FBA and she from Chicago. Y'all think she could play? She could play that role, Keke Palmer. She gained a little bit of weight.
I do. Because she can sing. I
And
do.
she's beautiful.
She can't
That's the
She
sing.
can
kind of
sing and dance.
She can't
and
act. She can't perform.
She got that swag. Chaka was
that's the
something.
kind of Black American representation that should be there as an
Yeah,
African. I don't understand why they use some random Nigerian. I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense.
has she? I've
One
seen.
of the
Of course, I've
Chloe
seen Aquila
sisters.
and the
Wait, not
Bee.
Chloe,
I
but
haven't really seen. She did a recent movie with SZA. I haven't seen that. I don't know, like her acting range ever since she was a. Because I haven't seen her like as an adult be in a movie. I knew her as a child. You know what I'm saying? Be in there. So I would have to see her range. But as far as I guess when you talk about the stats kind of it's a better fit than her. I can tell you that much.
I agree with that. Because you got to go back and look. Shaka was a whole vibe. When I tell you she was a whole vibe, and I do, that was a good one, sis. Keke Palmer could play that off. Oh, yeah, Shaka was something, wasn't that nice?
so you know
And she
what
was
this shows me?
fabulous.
Say Megan Thee
A lot of
Stallion.
people are saying Chloe Bailey too. I heard that on YouTube a lot. A lot of people are saying it.
Oh, she could
Yeah,
do it
yeah,
too.
Yeah,
that's what
Megan
I
Thee
was
A
trying
lot
to
of
Stallion.
get
people are
at.
saying it.
The Bailey, one
Megan
of
Thee
the
Stallion
Bailey
look like her
sisters.
look.
But we are very particular about who play our roles, y'all. We even like if they pick Beyonce to play somebody that we didn't think Beyonce fit the role of, we'd have the same discussion and we'd say why. It wouldn't be disrespectful like this chick here. Like I don't know what Hollywood's doing, casting her in all these roles, but we want our icons held up to a certain standard, and that means even in movies. Okay, so yeah. And no, we don't all think we look like Alicia Keys, Chai Master down there. We just want our icons played appropriately. I tell you, the comments
Funny
is
is
crazy.
Africans hate to look like Africans. They think it's a compliment when someone tells them they look Black American.
Who is
Sweetheart,
that on your screen, Wolfie? Is that
that's
Megan?
Shaka Khan.
Oh, that's Shaka. Okay,
That's Shaka
beautiful.
Khan. And the man keeps saying that 90% of Black Americans look like Africans. Shaka Khan don't look like her, and no African look like Shaka Khan. And I have a question to ask your panel. Where do they have Shaka Khan color in Africa? I really want to know, where do they have this copper brown skin color? This copper red brown skin color. Where do they have that in Africa? Because they said we look alike.
In Kenya, actually, Samburu
In
people.
Kenya, okay. Not in West Africa? Because
They
when I
do.
see a Kenya, they skin tone, and I hang with a lot of Kenyans in Houston, Texas. Nairobi, what's up? Semi. They don't look like us.
Oh
No,
no,
she looks
that's the thing
aboriginal.
about
They're not
Africans,
even
right?
shaped like
We have
us.
we have different phenotypes. I don't know why people say Black Americans look African. They
Oh, what
don't.
is that? What's going on?
That's Shaka Khan. That's just Shaka Khan because they keep saying Shaka Khan look African.
You got to look at her when she's
And Black.
young. She looks aboriginal. Like the woman that she is. Look at her young pictures.
This is a young picture. It just cut off. You
I'm
can make it big
looking.
for a second, so they can see Shaka Khan and I don't see how she gonna. That's
Oh,
Shaka
yeah.
Khan with the
There's my
rufus.
girl.
That's all
Mm-hmm.
her hair. That's her
Yeah,
body
it is.
natural.
She was bad, girl, to the bone.
I say Megan the Stallion can play her. I'm making it good. Like
Can Megan act? Can Megan act? I don't know if Megan can act. I know she's done some cameos, but has she like been in like a movie for real? That
what about making it good? Making good. I'm talking making it
Making
good.
good, making good. Oh, here's the thing: when it comes to casting Shaka Khan, and Megan Good does have the thing, but you gotta first off be somebody who can number one act, number two sing, and perform too. You can't just be standing still and singing. You gotta be able to a little bit. You might not be able to be as good as Shaka Khan, but you gotta be able to kind of do all three of those to be a real good role. Can Megan Good sing? I don't know if Megan Good can sing. I don't know if she can. Can she sing? I don't know.
Lip sync. All they gotta do is know how to lip sync. Can't nobody sing like Shaka
Yeah, that's
Khan.
true.
Is this really the? Somebody says, "Is this really the topic?" Yeah, it is the topic. We talking about who would be a better fit for the role. That how is that not the topic? Can she lip sing? I suppose she would need no. She would kind of need to have a little bit of a voice. She would need maybe, and she would also have to be able to perform on stage. But can Megan Good do it? She's not a bad option, but I don't know if she's the best option.
What about Kelly Rowland?
Well, she could work too.
Kelly Rowland would be a better option.
But what
Everybody
time
wanted
of
to
her
play
life?
Donna Simmons.
Because Kelly like 40
I
something. Ain't
think
she in her
she,
40s? Kelly like,
Yeah, Kelly
I,
is. Do you think that Kelly looks like though? Do you think she looks
Our
like Shaka
40s don't
Khan?
look like we in our 40s.
that's true. We aged though. You right about that. But depending on what time they do her,
my
What
vote is
about
for
they'll
what
Keisha.
try to
about
make it.
lettuce?
Hold
Depending on the
on,
actors as
everybody,
well.
hold on. Because I think this is kind of fun, actually. Everybody giving these suggestions and all that stuff. But before we go into that, I don't know. Has Patrick spoken yet or no?
No, no.
Where are you from, Patrick? Where's your lineage from?
I'm a black American from Chicago, and
What's up, man?
I'm not totally convinced on everything about my past, but I know that it's important, and the world looks into us as African Americans and want to know and dissect how we think. We can't be afraid of that. Where I come out the ghetto. And if you lived in the ghetto, you cannot be afraid of the ghetto. If you had fear in your heart, you will not go outdoors. You will
Okay, well, and
unalive
thank you.
yourself.
But does this? Are you going to tie this
I'm
into the prompt? Are you? Is this
okay.
like about the prompt or no?
I am very encouraged with what you guys are doing. The topic is ideal. It is one to keep the culture in check because people today are more entertained than understanding what they're doing. These are
Okay, so let me just for the sake of time.
looking at
What
the
do you think
lady.
of?
She does not look black. There's no way that she can associate with being out the ghetto or out of Chicago. I'm out of Chicago. I know people that played with Shaka Khan. I know she come out to church. That woman don't look like she come out to church. She probably can fool somebody in Egypt and say she's playing the role of Cleopatra. But then we all know there's been a deception on who Cleopatra was. So
That's
that's got nothing to do with my business.
okay. Yeah, you. Yeah. Thank you. All right. So I guess we were talking about FBA. Let me see. You change your name, FBA Porties. Let me see. You change your name, brother. I know that profile picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I just want to
You
say,
had a suggestion, right? You had a suggestion on who
yeah,
should.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Queen Z. My bad. I was just excited to throw my name up in there. I was suggesting, we could find some type of foundational Black American actress and maybe put someone like Lettucey vocals on the backing tracks or Deborah Cox. Somebody who can hit them notes Shaka be hitting. You feel me? But definitely we sticking with an FBA lady for sure. Come on now.
Do you think that? Okay, let me ask y'all this question. Do you think that whoever plays her needs to be able to sing? Because here's the thing. In my opinion, the list of importance goes acting. You got to act because you're not going to be singing most of the time. You got to act. You got to sing, and then you have to perform, which means you have to be able to have stage presence and all of this stuff, and you got to be able to be charismatic and energetic on stage. That's my level. Okay, acting is number one. You got to be able to sing. And then you got to be able to, be on stage. You got to be able to have that stage presence or whatever. In acting also goes with looks too. You got to look the part. She doesn't look the part, so she wouldn't even be a good fit. But let me ask y'all, do you all think that singing is a necessity, or do y'all think that they could do some computer work or some camera angles and just have her lip sync? Do y'all think that's enough?
In this day and age, they definitely don't have to have some. Angela Bassett did Tina Turner without. She don't know how to sing, and she did a phenomenal job playing Tina Turner. So in this day and age, they could finesse that for sure, the singing part.
It would be a bonus if they can find a person who can sing and dance and everything. But the most important is the story. Remember, she came out and identified herself as Afro-Indigenous. I think her story need to be told. It's more important that her story be told.
Man,
Y'all, I'm reading a comment and they said Jill Scott passed away. Is that true or a rumor?
Let's not. Let me double check that real quick.
I feel like
Please.
that's a rumor.
Hold on,
That's a
yeah.
rumor.
That's
It says by Pink Bubbles. Pink Bubbles, where did you hear that from, sweetie?
And I hope she lying.
I'm not saying nothing of that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, y'all. False alarm for
Yeah.
now. You know? Yeah, false alarm. Okay.
Y'all don't be trying to speak death on our greats. I know what y'all be doing. Some people be trying to do that shit to try to speak it into existence. Don't be trying to do that.
I
Some
just
hating
want
ass stuff.
I just want to say before I
FBA
go.
40, can I ask you a quick
Angela,
question?
I think
Are you
Angela
from
can sing.
YouTube?
Angela didn't sing in the Tina Turner movie though. She did lip sync in the Tina Turner movie. The reason why I think singing is something that's good is because I think it's a little awkward to act if you act like you're singing if you're not singing. You can't even hold a note. You don't have to be as good, but you gotta at least hold a note or something because otherwise it's gonna come off kind of fake.
I'll just add to the singing being as important just because I come from a singing family and Shaka Khan, she got that kind of like pitchy voice with a lot of range. So you want to be able to express how it is living with a iconic voice like that. You know, you have your bad days, your good days, your in between days. You know, being a singer is really using your voice as an instrument, and I would like to see the artist, you know, be able to express that as well in her biopic. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. That makes
One moment, Patrick. So FBA Porties, you be on in Afro Elite's YouTube chat?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hi, how are you?
How are
I
you?
recognize your name
Yeah,
there.
my name was Rothead LLC, but I just changed it to my last name.
Okay, no problem.
We still FBA in Detroit.
Of course, no doubt. Yeah. Afro. Who came up next, DZ? You remember? Both you went. Patrick went.
Deidre, did she go?
Yes, I didn't speak yet. Hey guys, hey
Hey,
panel.
how are you?
I switched my name. I had a different name earlier. I'm a little new to the app.
Four.
This what I want to say though. I think that them casting her is so very
Wait,
disrespectful.
what's your ethnic group?
I'm a black American from Chicago, Illinois. My grandmother is 103 years old. She been saying that we are indigenous to this land for as long as I can remember. I got up on
God
this
bless
panel,
them.
I got on this app today, and these Africans argued me down and told me I look like them. They started getting my pictures and putting my pictures beside, and they said I'm from. The fact of the matter is, we have different phenotypes. We know us when we see us. That Cynthia lady, she don't look nothing like no American woman. That's disrespectful for them to cast her. I think it's extremely disrespectful because look at her face, look at her head, look at her nose. She does not even look. She's not one of us. And I don't know when they just start calling it these folks all over the place start calling themselves black. This is new. This is a new phenomenon. I don't know when this happened. I don't know when they start forcing the African thing on us. At least I'm late to the party, y'all. Cause when I came on earlier, way this morning, it was a prompt by some African folks that said, why do Americans disregard or don't want to claim African? And I'm saying, again, you have those of us who still have elders who are alive, living and breathing, saying we are indigenous to this land. So we supposed to just disregard what our family is saying, what the elders are saying? We have different phenotypes. That lady right there should not be representing a Black American woman.
You're right, sister.
That military deployment could coincide with an immigration enforcement blitz.
They know we don't look like them. This is new. They know we do not look like them. And we know we don't look like them too. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Y'all, thank y'all. Could y'all drop me BX? I gotta finish
Sure.
this. Thank you. I'm listening in the
You're
chat,
welcome.
tapping the screen.
Okay. All right, Wolfie.
We're not gonna tell you how many.
Chime in next.
Yeah, sure. Can you give us your ethnic group, please? And Deidre, I agree with you. I agree with you, Deidre. Go ahead, Al.
Well, I'm Black American FBA from Washington D.C.
Hello.
Hello. I just wanted to add in. I know, in terms of lineage, she's not Black American, but I will say that Cynthia Erivo is a once in a generation talent. I think she's extremely talented in terms of acting, singing.
Alvito, is that you? Alvito, you came back from another page?
Peep Afro peek his head in. Like, what?
Alvito. You have 2 pages?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm
okay,
saying,
so before you continue, are you saying that, I want to cut to the chase because this just didn't sound right. Are you saying that Cynthia Erivo is okay to play Shaka Khan? Or I got that wrong?
Yeah, in my opinion, yes. Yeah. Like, I know in terms of lineage.
ZZ, are you okay? One moment. ZZ keeps dropping. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on either. We don't have to. First off, where's your lineage from? I don't. She's handling stuff, so her reception might be bad or something.
My reception going in and out. Sorry.
Yeah. Where's your lineage from, Al Stan?
It's been contentious.
You hear me now?
Yeah. Where's your lineage from?
I'm Black
Can you
American.
mute Patrick? Can you go on
Black
mute,
American.
please?
What do you know of Shaka Khan to say that Cynthia Erivo would be a good fit?
Well, I'm not speaking on Chaka Khan specifically. I'm speaking on Cynthia Erivo. So I saw her live in The Color Purple, like 15 years ago, and it was amazing. She played the role of Celie, and it was like a once in a generation type of talent. Like I've seen her, and I saw Fantasia when Fantasia did it at the Kennedy Center. Cynthia Erivo actually blew her out the water. Like, and like I'm serious. She's probably one of the best like technical singers I've ever seen live. Her enunciation is amazing. Her vocal range, and so I'm not that familiar with like Shaka Khan, her vocal range, but I feel like Cynthia Erivo could definitely handle it because if you heard her sing, then she can definitely hit all the notes Shaka Khan can. And in terms of looks, everyone focuses a lot on looks. Angela Bassett does not look like Tina Turner. Denzel Washington does not look like Malcolm X. There's so many iconic roles where people do not like the person they're portraying. Diana Ross does not look like Billie Holiday, and she got nominated for Oscar for that movie. She looks nothing like Billie Holiday, and so I don't think looks really matter as much as people think. Like Chadwick Boseman played Thurgood Marshall. They look nothing alike. Chadwick Boseman dark skin. Thurgood Marshall was like extremely light skinned.
What's interesting about that is I saw an interview, and rest in power to our brother Chadwick. Chadwick was about to decline the role because he didn't want to disrespect Thurgood Marshall because he said himself he doesn't feel like he looks like Thurgood Marshall. And I don't know if it was the agent or the producer who kept asking and insisting that he do it, and he decided to do it. But out of respect, Chadwick was actually going to decline the role because he doesn't look like Thurgood Marshall. So let's be honest. And yeah, you might not be able to find an identical match to these people. That may be so, but these people don't look completely off. These people don't look completely
I,
off.
I,
Angela
you
Bassett
think
may
Diana
not
Ross
look
looks like Billie
exactly like
Holiday?
Tina Turner. Stop. Hold on. Angela Bassett doesn't look exactly like Tina Turner, but Angela Bassett doesn't look like, let's say, Harriet Tubman. You know what I'm saying? If she looks closer to Tina Turner than she does to Harriet Tubman. You know, so you can. She also, Angela Bassett also did play Rosa Parks. She doesn't exactly look like Rosa Parks, but it's something that doesn't take you out of the movie. That's the thing. You gotta have enough resemblance for when you watch the movie not to be all like, I can't, like, I could never play Dr. King. No matter how great of an actor I am, I could never do that. If I got the voice right and everything, I just don't look close enough to Dr. King to be able to play him in the movie. If I was in a movie playing Dr. King, it would take everybody out the movie. They would just not see it, no matter how good of a job I did. So you gotta kind of match a little bit. You kind of got to match a little bit
Disagree. Have
enough
you
for
seen?
them not
Can
to
I
think,
enter
well,
Have
this?
you seen Selma? By the
One
way,
moment. One moment, Al. So the chat has issued a reminder. Cynthia Erivo made some anti-Black American statements, calling us
yeah, we're gonna get to that.
ghetto. Okay, thank you. We're gonna get to it, chat. All right, I'll yield.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. So yeah, first off, if you're saying that about the looks, and even if we did give that, you're gonna cast her as a role because you feel like she's a great actress. Do you not think that there are other great actresses out there who deserve just as much of a
the
shot?
level of Cynthia Erivo.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I saw a screening, an early screening of Wicked Part Two. Cynthia Erivo will probably have an Oscar by this time next year. She will probably be the second Black woman to ever have an Oscar in lead actress after Halle Berry.
What country
That's how
she
good
comes
she
from?
is.
Hold on. What country does Cynthia Erivo come from?
She's from the UK.
We have no, but what country in that? She's not. Y'all gotta cut it out. Y'all think that these
No, she was
people should
born
just
in the
be.
UK.
Hold on, because there's another lesson here. Everybody that I'm seeing out of Britain has this recent African immigration story or Caribbean immigrant story. What happened to the ancient Britons? Y'all think it's just normal for people to go around and migrate and displace the indigenous Black people of that land and be seen as that people? What country is Cynthia Erivo from? She's not from the UK. What
Her
country
country
in
of origin,
Africa?
her lineage is from Nigeria.
Right. So she's not Black, she's Nigerian. In America, we are Black, foundational Black Americans who descend from United States chattel slavery. And you do, that's erasure, sir. She would be Nigerian, a Nigerian Brit. Continue.
May I say something, please?
Oh yeah,
Hold
Michael.
on.
You
I'm
can
gonna let him
go.
finish.
Okay. Yeah, you can go right after me. Like I was saying, I think you can do a lot with makeup and wigs and movie magic. Yes, Cynthia Erivo is super skinny. That's part of her aesthetic. But Shaka Khan also went through a phase where she's addicted to crack cocaine.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Why was that even needed?
Yeah, that's the all. Now this is subtle sneak dissing, which is what you're doing.
Precisely.
That
Always
now
come with it a
now,
little
that,
bit.
now that's sneak dissing. Okay,
And
we're
who
also
said
making fun of
that?
the fact that she's not a part of the lineage anyway.
The fact is that she's not FBA. She's not one of us. That's the point we are
Yeah.
making. Why do you have to go across the ocean to find somebody when you have perfectly equipped people right there in Culver City, wherever they're taping all these movies, that can do her part and do it phenomenally well? They cannot
If
get to the essence of who we are because they are not us. That's our story. Who do you think would play Barbara Streisand? Let's put it like that.
That's right.
Hmm.
you're trying to give this to Cynthia Erivo and all of these accolades and all of that stuff, I'm gonna be very honest. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Cynthia Erivo does not have nearly as much range and acting ability as people give her credit for. She is being put on this pedestal as if she does, but honestly, she doesn't. When you see her, she doesn't have that. A lot of her scenes are very flat, to be honest. Nor can she sing that well, nor is she a phenomenal singer like that. Okay? And maybe you can say that, well, that may be just your opinion, but to be very honest, it's a lot of people's opinion. Cynthia Erivo is not in anybody's top five of actresses, especially not no black actresses. She's not nobody's top five, even if you want to say Nigerian actresses or UK actresses. She's not nobody's top five. Y'all keep sitting up there, be y'all like, man, nobody's better to play any role at all than Cynthia Erivo. She can play Harriet Tubman. She can play Shaka Khan. She can play Aretha Franklin. She can play anybody. Like, well, y'all stop. Because at this point, we know for a fact that what you're trying to do is not even about trying to tell the story right. It's about trying to promote her. It's some other agenda and reasoning that you guys are trying to promote her. Okay? Because clearly you don't know that much about Shaka Khan, so you don't care about her story being told accurately. You just said that, okay, that you opened up not knowing that much about Shaka Khan, so you don't really care about her story like that. But you want Cynthia Erivo. There's this pedestalization of Cynthia Erivo that you guys are having, and it's not because she's that great of an actress or singer. Let's move on though. Let's get to Michael. Mike, you've been with us before. You're FBA, right or not?
All the way, yes. I'm
All
FBA,
right,
yes,
cool.
sir.
I think I remember you. Go ahead, bro.
Yes, sir. I just want to say, man, I'm not gonna be long. I mean, me and some guy was discussing this today on the job. Why the other folks are playing roles of our people? I mean, where our people are not playing any role? Why are they not being pushed to play? And Harriet Tubman, and now she want to play Chaka Khan. You know what? I really believe that this is where we need to be 10 toes down on. Like, hey, man, we ain't, no, they not us, so they don't need to play no roles of our people. Stop it. These are our historic people. You know what I'm saying? We should be playing these roles. Not no damn I'm sorry. I meant to say that. Not nobody else other than the black Americans. Only us to play these roles. Us. Our people. And it kind of pisses me off, man, when I see them do this. But that's on us. We allowing it to happen. We ain't saying the damn thing till it's too late. Stop it before it get there. You know what I mean? I don't know, man.
I'm trying to get ahead of this. That's why we having this conversation, because I want to get ahead of this. I want this trend to stop.
Yes, we gotta let whoever doing this let them know, hey, we ain't down for it.
I'm gonna say,
you know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
Also, let me add to this. In the Harriet movie, I didn't see it, but I know what happened in the movie. She had some type of relationship or some type of crush, or there was some type of chemistry she had with a slave master in the Harriet Tubman movie, where he like was in love with her and she liked it. There was something going on. I didn't see the movie, but that's what happened. There was a black man, foundational black American man actually, who was cast as a slave catcher to go catch her. All right. And she was running around freeing the slaves, and the black man happened to be the one trying to go grab her. In the final scene of the movie, believe it or not, the black man was about to pew pew Harriet Tubman, and here comes her slave master who comes and saves Harriet Tubman from the black man. Somebody put that clip up on Twitter when the movie came out. Now, you see the type of stuff, because not only are they playing our icons, because they have these people who have no type of respect for the stories that they're portraying, they allow stuff like this to slide. If she was a foundation black American woman, if this was Viola Davis playing Harriet Tubman, I do not believe at all, not 1%, that Viola Davis would have let that slide. I don't think she would. I think she would have put a stop to that immediately.
Right.
She would have read the script and been like, "You got to take that out."
Right. I believe. You know what? I believe that too, and that's why I guess they reach towards the other people so they can get away with it. You know, allow it to happen. But a true black American would never allow that to happen. Like, I haven't saw the movie myself, and since you said so, I'm gonna take a look at it tonight. Now,
I just saw that clip. I didn't see the movie. I just saw that clip, and I was like, "Oh hell, that's got to be." Now you pushing this thing, and they're trying to do this thing where there's like the relationship between slave and slave master was kind of like some type of taboo, like thing where there's some romantic feelings that they have for it's
That's them.
it's
I
messed
mean,
up.
that's them over there. See, that's the problem. That's them over there telling our story.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
They have no. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go ahead in
we
just
got
a second.
no rights to do that. That's them telling our. They love them out. They call up. They love the right. They love that man. We don't.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Well, then they can tell
Yep.
our story.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They
Ma'am,
haven't learned yet.
hold on.
Hi.
Let's
That's
get
a good
to
minister, black
Matt.
woman.
Thank you for
Macoris.
having me,
Minister,
brother. Thank
black
you for
woman.
having me.
Macoris.
Thank you, brother. I'm gonna let you go ahead,
Michael.
ma'am. How do you pronounce your name? How do you see it? I don't see it.
Macoris. I come from the
Macaris. Where you
islands.
from?
I come from the islands, Caribbean. I just
Okay.
want to say that in the past,
Where at?
years and years ago, I used to see Shaka Khan here in Manhattan when she used to drop her children to school. My daughter used to go around there too. So I just want to say that Shaka Khan, she had the features of an American Indian black person. And she had a very voluptuous body and a fantastic head of hair you ever seen. What I want to say is that Cynthia Erivo looks like a 12-year-old boy, body-wise. And she will not be representing Shaka Khan the way it should be. She had a fantastic body. And maybe voice-wise, she can do it. But I don't think she has the features of Shaka Khan in order to represent her.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to say. I mean, Chaka Khan was gorgeous, gorgeous. And she had the American Indian features. I'm talking about cheekbones, nose, and her coloring was African American.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I just wanted to say that. Cynthia Erivo is very
Mm-hmm.
talented. I don't care if she's African, but the fact is that I don't think she can do it. You gotta look for somebody else.
Oh yeah.
That's all. Thank you.
She's not good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I go?
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, I'm just gonna say 55. 55. You
Yeah,
got it,
yeah,
and then
that's
we'll start wrapping things up there.
all right. My thing is
I'm gonna
like, I
ask
think
one final question, and then we'll wrap things up with the final question after you go ahead.
okay. My thing is like, I understand
Are
like
you FBA? I don't know if we've spoken before. Are you
no.
FBA?
I'm African. I'm African.
Where from?
I'm from West Africa, Liberia.
Okay.
All right. So my thing is like the Cynthia Erivo, right? The casting was wrong, right? For the Harriet Tubman and the Shaka Khan, that's all wrong, right? But my thing is like saying Africans don't deserve to play Black Americans. That's also wrong because like historically, Black Americans always played like Africans, like the T'Challa and the Michael B. Jordan. They was like playing Africans, even though they're not from Africa. Like even the I'm just forgetting his name, like the guy who played Godfather of Harlem. He played like an African. He played like an African leader in one of his us. He played like an African. He played like an African leader in one of his us in one of the.
I'll say Bumpy Johnson.
I don't think that his name.
Mm-hmm.
He got some name. He got like a crooked eye. He was in
Oh,
Black Panther.
Here's the thing, though.
He was in Black Panther. And
Here's the
hold on, let
thing,
me
though.
just even Don
He,
Cheadle.
he
Even
was he
Don
was
Cheadle
in
played
Black
like.
Panther.
Yeah, he was in Black Panther. Yeah, even Don
Okay.
Cheadle. Don Cheadle played like
Okay. Let's be
African too.
realistic
So
as
like,
grown
what's
men.
the
Let's talk.
problem?
Let's talk as grown men, brother. Let me talk
Hmm.
to you as grown men. Okay. First off, there's some
Hmm.
things that you have to consider. All right. This is just man to man. We're not no feelings or anything like that. Man to man.
Hmm.
When you're in America and a movie is made in America, more than likely you're going to get Americans to play that role. Just like there's a whole Hollywood thing in Nigeria, and all of the people who get casted are Nigerian. There's a Hollywood thing in India, and all of the people who get casted are Indians. So if you want to have a
Hmm.
role where you have some people and there's an African character in the role, let's be honest. There's a very disproportionate amount of Black American actors and actresses as opposed to maybe Nigerian actors and actresses. That's number one. Number two, our actors and actresses are of a much higher status. And that's just the truth, okay? They have
Yep.
a longer range. They have um, Not when I say longer range, they have more in their background, okay, more in their acting portfolio,
Then African
because they're from here.
actors.
That's number. Hold on, number two. I'm gonna let you respond to that. That's number two. I'm being serious. I'm not even trying to insult you. That's number two. So it would make sense to that. They already have a base. So it kind of does make sense to cast them. And then number three, to be very honest, in a lot of these roles, if you want to talk about Black Panther with Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, let's be honest, Black Panther is not real. That's the thing. Black Panther is art. That's fake. There is no T'Challa in real life. There is no Killmonger in real life. These are not real people. They're playing comic book characters. Okay, that's a very even when Eddie Murphy played the Prince of Zamunda, that's a fake character. Now the character is an African character, but that character is not a real person. That's what we're saying.
Okay,
When you play comic book characters or fake characters, if you want to make a story and say, well, that person is African, that's another thing. Because that's what all of them do. All of them come over here and play Black Americans. What we're specifying is that you're portraying real people. That's where it's a different lane. Okay,
but the Don
when you
Cheadle one,
start
the Don
actually
Cheadle one
telling
was
1
like
minute
stories of
55.
portraying a
real,
real
1
hold
person.
minute.
on. When you actually
1
start,
minute
so hold
55.
on. Let me finish. Let me finish. I'm gonna let you go. When you actually start telling stories of real people, that's where you enter into a different field. You're in a different lane. You're in a different realm at that point. Chadwick was playing T'Challa. T'Challa doesn't exist. Michael B. Jordan was playing Killmonger. Killmonger doesn't exist. Eddie Murphy was playing the Prince of Zamunda. He doesn't exist. These are fictional characters. So that is a very big difference because we want our stories, real people, and we want their stories to be told accurately.
The Don Cheadle one, the
Afro, can
Don
I
Cheadle
say
was a
this?
real person.
1 minute, 1
Hold
minute.
on, hold on.
We got to stop lying to these Africans. Y'all really need to hear the truth.
Bro,
The truth
see,
is,
like, why
y'all
am I
were
lying?
Again,
Like,
listen,
why
represented
do
we
you have to
actually
go
going to
there?
let you
horribly.
go, dude, but hold on.
First of all, Black Americans broke every barrier there is in this land, right? And until our people started changing the trajectory of how they were conveying how Africans or Africa was, y'all wasn't seen in such a good light to even be considered for a role. Our people are still fighting discrimination in these areas. So if it's an American-made movie for a genre that we broke the doors down for, I'm going Black American every time. No, an African, a Caribbean, a Ukrainian, a Canadian, an Afro-Latino should not be playing a Black American role, period. A whole role, fictional or realistic. We have enough talent that's waiting to be tapped in, praying for their chance, and it should not go to an immigrant. And I'm going to just leave it there. All this, I'm not coddling y'all no more. What do y'all fight for in this land? We broke every barrier there is on this land, and we're deserving of the opportunities because we're still
Man,
actively fighting. You know
man,
what y'all fighting? Y'all fighting us for our culture instead
Jesus
of building
Um,
your
Christ.
own.
Now,
excuse
let me
Like,
give
And
you
I'm
it's
not,
a,
tiring.
let me give
bro,
you another example. Hold on, hold on.
I'm not even
Let me
on
give you
that,
a,
bro.
hold on, dude. Hold on. I'm gonna let you speak, but let me give you another example.
You
Since you
not
brought up
doing that, dude.
Chadwick
I'm gonna let
Boseman,
you speak. I'm gonna let you speak. Like, you letting everybody attack me.
I will no.
You
I'm
know
not
what? That
letting
wasn't an
anybody. I let
attack.
DX
That was
made
a
make
You
a
letting
statement.
comment, and
everybody
now
else
I'm gonna
attack me. You're not letting me
That was a
speak.
I'm gonna
statement,
give
and
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna
another
It's
let you
your
finish
example,
it.
and then I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
let you speak. If you don't want to speak,
All right,
then
go
that's
ahead.
one thing. But let me just say this. Let me give you another example. All right.
Go ahead.
You brought up Black Panther, which is a Marvel comic book movie. You
You're
know
not
what
talking
else
about
is
the real ones
interesting
I talk
is
about,
that
though.
I think
I
it
think
was
his name is
Marsha.
Louis
Listen,
Forrest Walker
listen
or
now.
something.
You need to stop
Talk
it.
about the
You
Don
need to
Cheadle one
stop
from
because if you
Uganda.
don't, you're gonna leave. We have a civilized conversation. Marsha Ali. Okay, so now you're leaving. Now you're leaving because you can't really defeat the point. Now, do you see that? You can't defeat the point. There was another actor, I think it says Mashara Ali or
excuse me.
something like. I don't want to mispronounce his name. He was cast as Blade. Now the movie they still playing games with the next Blade movie, but Wesley Snipes was the first person to play Blade, and Wesley Snipes is FBA. And then they cast an African. I don't know exactly where he's from, but I know he's not FBA. But you didn't really see no outrage like that besides the people who really like Wesley Snipes because Blade does not exist. Blade doesn't exist. There is no half man, half vampire. That he's not, he does not exist. We're not talking about Marvel or DC comic book characters. We're talking about real people whose life really is way more
Excuse me.
important. Now, Nana, you wanted to say something, right?
I'm sorry, you keep cutting
Yeah,
out.
where are you from?
Well, my dad's African American, my mom's African,
Okay.
and I was born in East South St. Louis, and I was raised by both sides of the coins. So I kind of get both sides of each
Okay.
individual argument. Where I do get lost at is that growing up in both types of
Where's your mom
households,
from in Africa, though? Hold on.
she's from
Where's your
Ghana,
mom from
West
in Africa?
Africa. She's from Ghana.
Okay. Okay.
So she's in that contract, yeah. She's from Ghana. And
Okay.
my dad's side of the family, like I said, they're from Mississippi and stuff like that. What I was trying to say was a lot of the times the things that get misconstrued is that it's like both of y'all don't see where both of each other are coming from. Because if you're saying the same argument with, oh, like they can't play historical figures, what about the Woman King? What about the movie that Denzel played of an real African king? Like there are multiple times that we could play that argument for both sides. At the end of the day, I do agree that at the end of the day, nobody should be playing each other's figures. I
Okay.
do agree with you with the whole Cynthia Erivo thing. I don't think she should have played Harriet Tubman. For real, that was disrespectful. I also think the same. I do agree with you with the whole Cynthia Erivo thing. I don't think she should have played Harriet Tubman. For real, that was disrespectful. I also think the same sides. And a lot of the times, it's kind of like I
Now,
noticed
are you
that.
speak now? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
When you
go
said
ahead.
Denzel, are you speaking of the movie Gladiator, the second Gladiator? Is that a? Did he actually play a real person that really
It
existed, or
was
did he
Cry
just play a
Freedom.
role of a king?
It was Cry Freedom,
Okay.
and he
Okay.
actually
So
played
he
a real
actually played
person.
a real king.
Yeah, he actually
Okay.
played
All
a
right.
real historical figure. And even like they'll show
Okay.
me like I'm even named after a historical figure. And oftentimes, yes, I will say America has one of the most successful industries when it comes to acting. They don't give enough credit to Black people and African Americans. I feel like they don't give enough credit to any person of color really at all. Because like even if
Mm.
you look at the Hispanic history, they don't give enough credit to them either. Even though
Okay, we're
people
not
of
doing
color
that.
play
They
a
get way
huge
too much.
role in the industry.
Let me look because
Hold
we're
on,
not
ma'am.
praising no
We're not.
Hispanics. But let me say this. Let me say this.
Oh well, I'm just saying like in general, America doesn't give
But
credit to
hold
Color
on. Now,
Hispanic
when you
Africans to
brought
fight
up
for what
Woman
they want
King,
the way we did.
I don't know if Viola Davis actually, because the thing is that they're just a tribe of people. Viola Davis, you can say she shouldn't have portrayed I guess, the leader of a tribe that she's not from. But let's be honest, when we tell accurate history, Viola Davis spared them. Because let's be honest, the tribe, I forgot the name of the tribe that they were a part of, they were actually
but
the
if you
villains in the whole story
but
of
if you look
slavery.
into the if you actually look into the real story and if the people who actually lived there, that's not how they saw it. That's why they wrote it that way. That's not how people
But no,
see
but
history.
the
Like
Dahomey tribe, the Dahomey tribe. There's a lot of bad. They got a bad rep. Okay, and
regardless, they shouldn't have
Viola
played.
Davis played them, and they were played. Hold on, I'm just saying they were played like they were heroes, but actually that's not true. There was a real Dahomey tribe, and they participated in slavery as well.
I know there was a real Dahomey tribe. I'm just saying in general, if we're speaking on who should play who in historical figures, we're not speaking on good or bad historical
And you
figures.
know
We're
what?
saying
Let's say that. Let's say that's fair. That's fair. We can stop playing Africans. We
and
can
yes.
not support that. I will say that. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's stop doing that. Who would you guys rather see in those seats? I'm just asking out of curiosity.
I think African people should be playing African
Who
roles
would
the
you
same way
think would have
African
been a better
Americans
pick?
should be playing. African American roles. There are a lot of African people that are actors in Africa.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
Hollywood is
but it's an African
developing
based
the
movie.
Hollywood.
I'm agreeing. Now I'm asking, who do you think everybody can't speak at the same time? Who would have been a better pick to play in the Woman King besides, because I don't think the Dahomey
There, like I
tribe
said,
actually even
even if you,
exists today, do they?
it does, it does. But even there's a lot of people who
It
have
does? Okay,
passed
well,
down
do you
generation
want one of
history
their
with
descendants
Dahomey.
to come and play?
As long as they're African, the same way you wouldn't
Okay.
ask somebody who's not from Mississippi to play a character who's from Mississippi. If they're African American playing an African American role, you're not gonna ask them,
Okay.
okay, what part of Africa, America you're from. Like you're gonna ask them, okay, are you African American?
Okay,
Okay,
well,
you can play this
that makes
role.
the question a lot easier. So, what African actress do you think would have been on the level of Viola
There's
Davis, or
a
do you
lot.
think would have done a great job? Like who?
I know a lot of them, but I forgot
Yes.
their names. But there's a lot of Ghanaian actors
Like,
that
like,
I
like
know
who?
that are very
I'm asking.
popular in Africa.
I'm agreeing that we should stay away from those roles, which I think is gonna start coming up. But I am gonna warn you guys to be careful for what you wish for. But if you're saying that Viola Davis,
As
it
if
should
like
have been an
African people
African,
can't
what
support African
African do
movies.
you think?
Jackie Appiah is a big actor in Ghana.
I'm not saying, ma'am, I'm not saying,
Jackie Appiah is a big actor in Ghana. She could
hold
play
on.
that
I'm
role.
asking you your opinion.
I just said Jackie Appiah.
Who'd you say?
Jackie Appiah. She's a Ghanaian actor.
Search the name.
Jackie Appiah is someone I
Jackie
already know.
Appiah?
That's someone
What
who's very
movie has
popular in
Jackie Appiah
Ghana.
been in?
She did the movie. It's an
Okay,
African. You guys don't know African movies like that, like Nollywood and stuff like that. Do you?
no, not really, no.
She's been in like Beyonce. She's been in like. She's just a very popular actor in Ghana. Like she's one of the top highest paid actors in Ghana.
Okay,
But that's just one
okay,
continent.
all right,
That's
cool.
just one
Okay,
part
I
of
guess,
Africa.
look, okay. She should have played, listen, I'm not even going to argue with you on that. I'm not going to argue with you on that. If y'all feel like it's unfair that we're playing the role, now when we play or when FBA plays the roles of any African person, there's no disrespect or anything. We try to make sure the story is told in the
And
utmost.
that's
We try to
fine,
make
but
sure
that's
the
the
story is
same
told
way
as righteous as
that's the
possible.
same way you can say for
But
other people who
but
play African American roles.
if we're going to be fair, if we're going, you need to stop talking when I'm talking. All right. If we're
Well,
going to be fair and say that you all should not play in our roles, okay, then we got. I guess we got to be fair. So if you want the cast and all of these people to be played by Africans or whatever, I'm gonna be honest. There's not an African actress in America that reaches the level of Viola Davis. There's not one. And if you was to cast some actress that might be super popular in Ghana, that doesn't mean that she's going to be well received in America. So what that means is
and
people are not going to go see you guys' stories like that. If it wasn't Will Smith who played in that concussion movie, people wouldn't have went to see it. If it wasn't Viola Davis who played in A Woman King, people wouldn't have went to go see it. But
so
if y'all
this
want
is
us
where
to
you lose
stop,
me.
because I'm gonna be honest, we are the people putting butts in seats. We are the people. Our lineage is the people. We got the actors and actresses that are causing people to go see the movies of your stories. If you want us to stop doing that, I think that that's a fair request. But it will cost you guys because then nobody is going to see you guys' stories. Cause y'all are not even coming over here trying to make your stories. Y'all coming over here trying to portray our stories. So it's not like Cynthia Erivo sitting up there trying to play in the Woman King. Y'all not even trying to play y'all own people. and make y'all own stories. Y'all trying to cosplay us and play our stories. So if y'all don't want us to touch y'all stories just won't be told. That's just gonna be what it is.
How do you
But
know?
if
Me
y'all want
personally,
that,
I really don't like. I
Boycotting
really don't like this
everything
narrative,
African.
knowing that Africa is not just one little spot. Africa has billions
Oh,
of
here we
people,
go.
and
Here
on
no, what
top
does
of
that
toy.
matter?
that, on
What does
top of
that
that,
matter, ma'am?
on
Ma'am,
top of that,
there's
can
not.
I finish what I was
We
saying?
understand that, ma'am. But the
Right.
problem
We
is
don't need
that
to
there
hit
is
you
not
like
a
no.
single. The problem is that there is not a single African at all in any of the 54 countries in America that reaches the level of esteem that Viola Davis does in Hollywood. There's not one. There's not an African version of Viola Davis. Not in America. There's not. There's nobody who's an African who has an African lineage who's in America who's portraying that. Nobody. Come
Being,
on now. Let's not lie.
but in my personal opinion, being someone who was raised in both situations, a lot of times I think a lot of people in America think America's the only place in this world. No, America is not the only place in this
By your
world.
fake
A lot
children.
of
Nothing
y'all
to do
didn't
with
even
this
know who the
conversation.
Nollywood actor
We
was.
why should
There
we?
are,
Why
Hold
should
on.
we?
and
Okay,
you don't
ma'am.
have
But
to.
here's the
Don't yell at
thing.
me.
No.
You don't
Here
have
is
to.
the
I
thing,
really don't
ma'am.
care.
You
If
can.
America was not the only place in the world, why are they coming over here trying to portray our stories?
You can
Why are
say
they
that for
not
any
coming
other
over here
country. You
trying
can
to
say that for
film their
anybody.
stories?
You can say that for anybody. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of people that are moving out to other countries and doing stuff in those countries. You can say that for
No,
any
ma'am,
country.
because we're not going anywhere in Africa trying to be. I'm not going to Africa or South
Well,
Africa
that's
trying
you.
to act like I'm Nelson Mandela. I'm not doing that.
And
Host, can
that's
I
fine.
have a
That's
chance to
you. But at the
talk?
end of the day,
But okay,
yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
You know
Sorry.
what, ma'am? You know what? Okay, I'm saying that that's fair. You don't want us to portray y'all story. It's not like we do it to a crazy
First of all,
degree
I'm
like that
both
anyway,
African
because
American
it
and
won't be nothing
African.
to
So
stop. But
I am
I
both
want to
African
warn
American
y'all.
and
Y'all keep
African.
going, ma'am. Y'all keep okay. All right, okay. So we're gonna move on. Well, I get what you're saying. I do. I get
Mimi
it.
was in the box. Do y'all see Mimi?
She was for a split second, but she's not there no
Yeah.
more.
Mimi,
My
request back up, please, Mimi.
no, Mimi is actually not trying to come join. My other sister is trying to join, but I'm trying to get her to I can't see her name up here. I don't know why it's not popping up.
Right.
That's
Is
why I
her
just did America
page
chat.
private?
Host,
Is
can
Is
her
I
it
page
have
probably
a chance
private?
to
paper?
Is your page private?
Well, okay. As y'all try to look for that, but let's get to the next speaker. Let's get to my messy perfect life.
Hi, host. Thank y'all for having me up on this conversation. I've been waiting so patiently in the comments to get to a couple of things because this is disrespectful on a couple of different levels. Number one is it's just from a labor perspective. When you go to other countries, it doesn't matter. The acting industry is just another industry that has jobs and labors. When you go into other countries, they source for their jobs and their careers the things that they need from within that country first. The only time that they go outside of that country's local population or the local people is for two reasons. Number one, that talent is so rare it doesn't exist in that particular country and they have to go outsource it. Number two is they want to pay less than what is required for that particular role, and so they go outsource it. That's the number one reason why this is very disrespectful. The number two reason this is disrespectful. Number one reason why this is very disrespectful. The number two reason this is disrespectful. It's just like a lot of immigrants that come over here and disrespect Black Americans. She has never publicly apologized for publicly calling Black Americans ghetto or whatever else talking points they get from YT, right wing media talking points. She's never apologized for that. And for that reason, putting these type of roles that are staple to our culture is disrespect to our faces and done on purpose because it's been done a couple of times by this point. At this point, we need to be talking about how do we make our voices known. It makes me upset when there's companies like Cracker Barrel that makes a change in Campbell on their damn symbol and the whole house comes down. We don't even eat there. Whole house comes down and they change that back. Why are our voices being heard? We need to organize
to make our voices heard, that this is not acceptable. It is not acceptable for you to come over here and play in our faces on different levels, to come over here and disrespect us, to come over here and take roles, paying roles, and undermine what we have done. A lot of times, Black Americans, we are too inclusive. We have leveled the playing field for these people to come over here because they cannot get those type of roles over where they're coming from. Let's get that clear. They cannot work that way. They cannot earn what they're earning over here. And it undermines us, especially when they put out comments that they don't come back and publicly retract, especially after you played roles like Harriet Tubman. After you played a role like Harriet Tubman, the number one thing you should be doing is saying, I made a mistake. I had to do research for this role. I understand the importance of the Black American community and what they've done for me and everybody that looks like me to come over here and have these type of roles. She's done none of that, and I'm tired of the disrespect. We got to get tired of this disrespect and start sending messages the same way you see people sending messages about the damn Cracker Barrels, damn symbol that don't nobody care about. But look how quickly they changed that. We have to get ourselves together and start talking about how do we send a message that this is not acceptable.
But she's not in the queue. If she could request out and we rotate
No, I
somebody off
think
the panel.
I see her other sister.
Thank you.
Her other sister's up there.
Can I add on
But
to something?
can everybody tap the screen? Real quick, can everybody tap the screen?
Shut up. I got time for it. Go to your room. If you're making all that noise, go to your room.
Can I just say something though? Wait.
Hold on, Nat. Hold on.
It's okay.
Both y'all came up on the same thing. Both y'all came up and there was a bunch of noise in the background. Yeah. I guess it's in the family, huh? Or it's in the family, don't it? Oh, that's cool. We be having a whole family. We be having a good family. Yeah, I guess it's in the family, huh? Or it's in the family, don't it? Oh, that's cool. We be having a whole family. We be having a good family. It's cool. It's cool. All right, I like it. Okay.
Was it my turn to speak?
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, okay. Peace to all the FBAs. The only reason I came on here is because there is something that is definitely missing from the conversation.
Yes,
And that is the fact that people who come over here, and I'm speaking as a FBA who is married to a Senegalese man. I've been married to my husband for 14 years. We've been together for 16 years. So I think what we're missing in the conversation is the lack that they have and the connection that they have to our history, our greats, and the appreciation for that history and our greats. I was telling my other sister that the reason why Angela Bassett worked in that role, even though she doesn't look like Tina Turner, is because Angela Bassett probably had some aunts that went and saw Tina Turner. Angela Bassett probably grew up in a house that on Saturday morning, when they got up to clean, they were bumping Tina Turner. So there's a connection. There's an appreciation that's there. It's even in the brothers that played The Temptations. That's one of our great biopics. Those brothers played those roles so well because there's connection. There's appreciation for what the Temptations did, not just for the music, but for the actual Black men and what they had to go through to bring forth that music, right? So when you're talking about people coming here who don't have any understanding of our history, who don't have any appreciation other than shaking or bumping their gums or their bodies to our music. See, there's a lack of appreciation for the fact that our
Shaka Khans and our Aretha Franklins funded movements. They funded these movements that made things happen. See, those are things that we know because not just from learning it in school, but hearing it from our grandparents, hearing it from our parents. There's an appreciation we have for these stories. And we have a responsibility to not just those greats, but for future generations to be able to look back when we are here and see somebody like Denzel Washington, like Angela Bassett, like Jennifer Hudson, put forth great effort and great performances and depicting our greats with an appreciation and a love that and a care that you can't have without connection and appreciation and love. And that is a major difference. It's not just about, oh, you don't know. You can know the history, but do you have the connection to the history? Do you have a grandmother, an aunt, or anything that you can reach to that can give you that other part of it that all of our Black greats have proven time and time again that they can bring to the table without looking like? That's why Jennifer Hudson not looking like Aretha didn't matter. That's why Angela Bassett not looking like Tina Turner didn't matter. She was able to embody it. And that's what the major difference is. I don't see any of our Black actors trying to go to any of these or even to the UK and trying to depict any of their greats. Why are they coming over here in droves, taking our roles when we ain't got no culture, right? But you coming over here reaping the benefits of what our ancestors fought for. Yours ain't fight for this. Go over there and play whatever roles you want to play in London. Depict your greats in Nigeria. Because we're not running over there to try to depict y'all. Right? We're not running over there trying to take over y'all Afro beats. But I don't see, like I told my other sister, I don't see none of the Afro beats artists coming out in African garb, rocking the traditional African hairstyles. I see them coming out dressed like my younger brother. I see them coming out with the hairstyles that we rocking and the nails that we rocking. Because if we buy it, we set the standard. And so we have to know and have to set the standard that we are not accepting that. You can let her play the role, but we ain't going to go see it. You can let them come over here. Let them keep coming. And when it don't sell, bring us something else. Because we don't want that. Because she is not Shaka Khan. She don't have no connection to our history. And that's what it has to be. Back, sister standing on business.
Can I say something after? I wanna follow up after what the young lady said. Is my messy. I can't see her whole name. But she said something earlier. She said that we are too inclusive. And I really feel like that's what I'm saying, unfortunately, myself included. We've been so inclusive and we have not safeguarded ourselves to the point where when the African panel this morning was attacking me, two Black American women decided to tag team me with them. I mean, one of the women was almost crying. She was like, "How dare you say you not African? How dare you?"
Hold on, Deirdre. Hold on. You got to understand some Africans are cosplayers too, right? So are some Caribbeans. So there is a lady who I know personally from this app would do that, right? And she claims to be African American. She gets upset if you identify as Black American. She's married to an African man, but her accent indicates otherwise. And she would more than likely would have been one of those double teamers. So you got to try to understand the difference between a cosplayer and your people, because some of them, it's like slight differences. So that you
DX,
could have been encountering that too.
I hear you, but I'm from Chicago. This sister said she was from Chicago as well. She started landing out name points. I heard her accent. I've dated a Belizean, I've dated a Jamaican, I've dated a
Hold
Nigerian.
on, sir.
That's why I said I've been
But
too inclusive as well. This was a
no,
black
no,
woman
no. Even
attacking
if they
me.
born from Chicago, don't you know they know these places that we know too,
No,
but it's
I
the
understand.
connection.
I
Yeah,
understand. I understand
yeah.
that. Like I said, we are melting. I lived in Chicago as well as I've lived in Houston, so I understand that we're a melting pot. I get that, and I understand that they cosplay us. I understand it as well. But again, myself included, we have been extremely inclusive. While they have been throwing rocks and hiding their hands for decades, and at this point now, we're dropping boulders on top of them, and they're acting oblivious. They're acting like, what? What's the problem? No, y'all know what the problem is. And it's so I do understand what the problem is. And it's so I do understand cosplaying or she trying to, overplay for the
Right.
underlay. I get that. But again, I am guilty as charged because I didn't have no hate or no disregard for nobody else's culture. I actually appreciate different cultures from around the world, from around Africa and different places, and appreciate different cultures from around the world, from around Africa and different places, and really disrespectful. I didn't know it was going on. Maybe that's why I'm embarrassed how disrespectful these people have been. I'm not real big on social media. I just started getting back on social media literally like 2 to 3 weeks ago. So to come on here and see how they behaving, I've been saying I've had it that they was disrespectful, but I didn't realize how bodacious they were. And again, we have been extremely lenient with them, myself included.
But there's a problem that we're not addressing, and it's hard to address. They are being cast, even though they're coming over here and we can talk about the way that they want to play our iconic roles and things like that. We need to be figuring out who is choosing these people to cast in the roles of they're not choosing themselves. They are being called to cast calls, out beating or beating out whatever competition. We need to figure out who is responsible for, because this is 3 times now. Who is responsible for casting people like this in our roles, and what do we do about it? We've got to get serious about it because it's disrespectful on so many levels, and it sends the wrong message to our young people. That you can come over to this country, disrespect Black Americans to their face, not have no respect for the roles that you even play. She don't have no respect for the people that she playing. She don't have no respect for them. And that is that we are somehow accepting it because it's happened repeatedly. So we have to figure out, how do we stop this?
You know how we stop it? Like we did with the Tyler situation. Just do not support it, period, so they can see what's really good and who really running.
Yeah.
And
Them pennies on the dollar.
okay, can I just say something before, I have to go?
I must not.
I do agree. I'm sorry. I can't hear you. You're breaking up. Can y'all hear him? Maybe it's just me. Oh, I didn't say anything. Okay. Okay. So what I had to say was I do agree with my I don't know your full name, but I do agree that at the end of the day, promote and stay in your, groups. I do think you guys can. I do think Cynthia does need to apologize, or better yet, not be playing any African American historical roles or Black American historical roles. Personally, I do not family and stuff like that. A lot of comments were making very harsh comments about where I'm from and my family, and a lot of really crazy comments. So that's really why I'm leaving. I do feel like at the end of the day, like from my perspective of being someone who was raised in both households, as much as everyone keeps saying, no, you're fake, no, you're da da da. I was raised by an African American dad and an African mom. I mean, if you know, you know.
You're
So
African. Claim it and be proud of it.
I'm both. I am proud of being African American and African. I'm claiming both because at the end of the day, that's what I am. My dad's from St.
If you were
Louis, and
raised by a black father, his
yes, he's from
English
St.
did not.
Louis.
You have none of his. You have picked up on none of his English. You
It's been around both. Like I'm telling you that I grew up half of my life in his household, half of my life in my mom's household. And now I'm going back to St. Louis after I come from my HBCU, which I'm graduating from in December. I go to Bethune-Cookman in Daytona Beach, which I'm graduating from in December to go to St. Louis to go for law school. So at the end of the day, from my perspective, I respect both of my cultures, and I'm never ever going to downplay any of my culture, my African side or my African American side, because those are both important sides to me. So at the end of the day, I'm claiming both, whether you agree with it or not. Secondly,
That by ethnic children, right? Because they relate, they interject on the side of the non-foundational black, and it does us. It's bad to us. It's harmful to us, right? Because you're bringing up Nollywood, and we asking us if we should know about the continent actors that watch those movies on like DVD back in the days. I'm from New York, so people who remember the DVD days, I understand what it's like to have a African actor and their type of film and stuff. I appreciated that. I appreciated seeing their culture. But what you're missing is that we fought for everything on this land. If we had not portrayed those people in a certain light, right? If we had not portrayed those people in a certain light, right? Africa, all type of mess. So it's just some things that a bi-ethnic person would say that would consider them off code. And I think some people had a problem with what you were saying, but not as opposed that we're totally against two ethnic households having children. It's just that we
from the
operate.
commentaries of people saying that I'm fake or I'm a scammer, or just it's very hurtful. But at the end of
I
the day,
got
people are
you.
gonna say what they're gonna say, and at the end of the day, I'm still gonna stick with what I believe. I do still believe that we're all a group of Black people. At the end of the day, we're all together, and even if you don't see that,
because you
No,
claim
no,
your
no.
dad's
Hold
side. Is
on.
that why you have
Hold
you
watermelon
on.
might not
next
see
to
One
it,
your
minute,
name?
one minute,
but
1 minute, FBA, 1 minute. Let me tell you this. Our race is black, but ethnically we're all different, right? And so
yes,
I
we're
can go
all
one
different
moment, one
ethnically. I do
moment,
agree
one
with
moment,
that.
one moment, right? Because I never thought I would have to go at the Caribbean in such a manner, right? My children are half Caribbean. But when we look at our government now in such a manner, right? My children are half Caribbean. But when we look at our government now, it's the Caribbean that's doing harm to our people. And this is where our people is at. Black Americans, because we've researched the government. We know the things that they're doing there. We know the things that they're doing supposed to be that topic. But if you want to come back another day and have an honest discussion where you can just hear everything that we know about the things they vote no to, if they don't get a piece of it, and these are things they say out of their mouth to our activists. right? So how much can we take? You get
And I
it?
agree. I see what you're
Okay.
coming. I see where you're
Okay.
coming from.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do agree. I do feel like, regardless, like, because you say this to me, and then I talk to somebody who's also an African ancestor or something like that, and they say the same stuff. I feel like it's just very harsh miscommunication. I do agree that there are some African people who are very, very disrespectful. Trust. I check people in my family every day. So it's not, it's not something that I'm not like knowledgeable about. I know about the biases that African people have. I also know about the biases that African American people have because I've heard commentary from my African American side and my Black American side of my family as well, even from my own father. So it's just like a lot of things. I understand where you're coming from, but I have to go. I do appreciate this, conversation. I wish everybody in this live the best, and even the people in the comments, even if you were talking crazy to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Nana.
Kind of throwing me off in her bio. That look a little weird. It's giving a little anti-black, but
That's
I
what
digress.
the wait. Remember when the October 7th incident really kicked off between the small hat country and the Muslim country there? I guess I could say it like that. There were activists, Black American activists that would ride around these apps with the watermelon. That's a sign of an activist who's supporting peace sign. That's what that sign is for. Unless she's a troll in other rooms and got the watermelon there. But that
Yeah,
indicates, unless she's a troll in other rooms and got the watermelon there. But that
yeah.
indicates,
She might be African because she's a little docile, and
Y'all
they
can
tend
hear
to be a
me?
little docile.
yeah, we can hear you, Afro.
Because I went up against a whole panel
Okay,
today of
let's
them Africans
listen. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm not sure.
today of them
Listen. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm not sure what's saying that. We were going fine before, but now it's some issue, and I do have to go. So this is the time we're going to start wrapping things up. All right, we're going to start wrapping things up now.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. There were some things I wanted to say, but I guess if the space is glitching, there's really nothing
Well,
I
you're
can do
clear now
about
if you
that.
want to
But
try
we
to
had a
get it
pretty good
out,
live.
Afro. No.
So I'm not glitching no more, right?
No.
Okay.
A little bit though.
Let me speak. I'm lagging though. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Just okay. To be honest, okay, and to be fair, we don't judge people based off of where their parents are or who their parents are. We judge people based off of who they are. The decisions doesn't mean you're bad, but we do have to be cautious about is when people come from what they call bi-ethnic background. So if your mom or dad is FBA and then the other parent is not FBA, you will tend to have a biased, or even if you don't have a bias, you will have too much sympathy for the other side. So when it comes to calling out one side for being wrong, you can't really push that line the way you need to because you're a little bit too sympathetic. Your emotions are a little bit too tied to whatever side. So when we're calling out the fact that non-FBA FBAs shouldn't be playing in FBA icons. She came up here and she tried to run defense because FBA icons. She came up here and she tried to run defense because and this is something that we got to worry about. And I'm not saying that everybody is like that, but this is something we got to worry about with people who come from two different lineages, people who have multiple lineages. Okay, they tend to have a thing of they will. She claims she calls out her family, but she wants to call out her family and make it a 50-50 thing. She doesn't call out the disrespect. Notice how she said, I call out the disrespect of my African family, but I also call out the disrespect of my American family. She does. It's a line that she doesn't want to cross where she seems like she's against her African side of the family. And this is the issue that we have. Okay. I need you guys, if y'all bi-ethnic or whatever the term is, if y'all got multiple lineages, y'all just need to take a seat in the back. Because what I'm noticing is that right now there's a line that we need to be pushed that you guys are too afraid to or too emotional to push that line because it hits too close to home to you. So when we're saying they shouldn't be playing this role, you feel offended because it hits home to your African side. So now you want to come up and actually defend by making it seem like, okay, well, y'all shouldn't play our roles then. I say, okay, fine. All right, fine. I mean, we're really not arguing that. I think that you guys, it would harm you guys' stories being told more than it would harm us. But okay, fine. This is the issue that we have to have with that. So I need y'all, and like I'm saying, it's not your fault. You can't control who your parents are, but y'all got to take a seat in the back, cause y'all are too soft to be pushing this line. Okay, y'all don't stand on business the way y'all need to. Y'all be trying to make everything a kumbaya because y'all don't want to offend the other side of your family, and we can't have that right now. And with that being said, I think we had a pretty good live stream. I don't know why it's lagging. I don't know why it's glitching, but been a pretty good live stream. Pretty good. But we can start wrapping things up here, though.
I
We can
had
start wrapping
invited
things up. So,
Mimi up,
Zizi, do
but
you have it?
she didn't take the invite. Mimi, if she wanted to
Okay.
just give her thoughts real fast. I had sent the invite, Mimi.
Yeah, she not coming up here. I was just using her
Oh,
as a tester to get my other sister up here.
okay, no problem.
Okay. Zizi's sister is back.
I don't know if
No,
she
we're waiting.
realized she back. Do she
Okay,
realize
we're
she
waiting.
back?
Yeah, I am back. No, my
Okay.
phone died. I apologize. It died.
You do want
I am back. No, my
to.
phone
Okay.
died. I apologize. It died.
You do want to.
Does she want to say something?
Now, y'all see,
I
Zizi come from good
I
stock.
want to say
All her
something
family
All
be
before
right.
on
we
Hey,
code.
go.
look.
I love to see it.
Hey,
I
hey,
want to say
look.
something before we go because I'm seeing all on
I
the
want
news
to
about.
say something also. I'm going to.
Okay, hold
They're
on, hold
trying
on.
to get rid of.
We got to be
Okay, I
quick,
will.
but I'll let
It's
you get
all
your final
about
thoughts on it.
erasure and them. They're replacing them with us. So when the historical record is written, it's not definitive and it's not succinct that these are our people and it is our story that is being told. And I commend all the young. I like all the comments that were made, and we just got to keep up the good fight. And if there's anything we know we can do, we got to vote with our dollars. Okay, let them know that we don't appreciate the disrespect, and nor will we fund it or support it. And I land my plane.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you. FBA Portage. You said you had a final thing you wanted to say, and then we'll close out. Portiz. Okay.
People, I'm seeing the story about the mass pow somewhere in Minnesota or something, and every time it's one of them, it's always something with the brain or a character defect or something. Like just watch out for these people, man. Like it's getting scary out here. FBA all day.
Yeah, all day. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, we do got to be careful. We got to be careful with that. Um, Zizi, you have any closing thoughts?
Absolutely. I am definitely in agreement with with your bi ethnic stance. I think that's something we definitely got to double back on as well. And do a live about. But for sure,
Probably.
it's a secondary. Yeah, we definitely should. That would be a good live.
I'm starting to see we need to have a whole nother live on that.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to. Was that it?
No,
Was
my
that?
thing is switching. I told you lagging a little bit. So when I start, you just have stopped. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not you. But yeah, absolutely. There has to be a secondary FBA voices that are wholly FBA. Let me say that have to be at the forefront of the conversation of any conversation pertaining to foundational Black American culture. But overall, Cynthia Erivo, I'm sorry, it's just not going to work. And let me just throw this in here right quick. 'Cause I don't think I'm not sure if I heard anybody mention it, but Cynthia Erivo, even outside of her tweets that she's made, the anti-Black American rhetoric, the type of roles that she's picked, you know, the way that they, you know, misconstrued Harriet Tubman's story and had the YT man be the savior, and I didn't even know they were supposed to have something weird, some type of weird friction going on there. That's egregious. But even her second role, with her playing Alphaba, and that went over Ariana Grande, that was a weird ass situation that they had in that movie. So the fact that she keeps repeatedly choosing these roles where she's lusting somewhat over these YT people, whether they're male or female, it shows something within her own character, which is something that goes against our culture as foundational Black Americans. So she wouldn't qualify for our roles, whether she had them tweets or not. Okay, and her being, I know we was beating around the bush. She don't look good. She not cute. That's the nicest thing I can say. She not cute. She does not look like a standard or average foundation of Black American. We are fine over here. Okay, we know what we look like. We're going to look at the screen and know exactly who that is. That ain't us. So they have to get somebody. Keke Palmer, Megan Good, whoever. The suggestions we heard earlier today throughout the live was good, but somebody of her stature, it's not going to work ever.
That's true. You ain't lying. And we try not to bully, but let's be honest. Let's be honest. She don't look good. She does not, especially with the shaved head and everything. She don't. And we're
No, she's
not gonna sit
fine.
up there and pretend like that's some type of. We're not gonna pretend like that. Okay, we're not. Come on. We're not gonna pretend like that's our opinion. Objectively speaking, she is not attractive. Let's come on now. Let's not even do that.
That.
Zizi got the whole family in the background talking about it. Okay. Yeah, that was her niece. That was her niece in the background saying, "No, she's not on TV. You're right." All right, all right. BX, can you close this out, please? Thank you.
So yesterday it was a day full of, back and forth and stuff like that. So if y'all look at my profile picture, that is from, I believe, either the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries, like 1700, 1800, 1900. Those are our victims, our ancestors on our ancestral land, right? That were harmed, or our communities were ran up in by the other people, the white tea people. And the reason why I decided to put those names there is because I think one of the disconnects between us and the Afro-descendant immigrants, no matter if they're Caribbean or African, is because we don't typically migrate out. We don't understand why people ain't staying at home. Some of us, I'm gonna say, staying at home and fighting against their oppression. But the same people they say are oppressing them, they're running to. And a lady told me from Ethiopia or places that Black Americans should understand that they were BOMB'd on their land. I said, ma'am, you know what? I'm over that, because we were boomed twice that we know of. Because then we know they don't tell our true history. So I decided to put all these cities and states of where our travesties happened. If we were not flooded out, we were ran out by Pew Pew Point, right? But don't think we didn't fight back, honey. Because we're still here, we're still thriving. And when you take away the 13% and you go by ethnic group, we're the second largest ethnic group in the United States of America outside of the Germans, right? They're the first. So I think people come here and expect, we've extended ourselves so much. When the person who talked about we're so inclusive, we have been, that they expect us to understand why they fled here. But we got a history, and you see the profile picture, of staying at home and fighting back through all of this, and we're still thriving. So I'm losing very much patience for y'all. I'm gonna start hurting y'all feelings for real, right? But I'm in here. Afro, when's the next time you'll be going live?
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
not
blame
sure.
you.
I'm not sure. I don't want to say
I
I
don't
don't know,
blame
but I'm not sure yet.
you.
I kind of squeezed today in, to be very honest with you. I've been ripping and running and doing everything. But yeah, somebody says tonight. I'm going to be live on YouTube tonight. That don't count to BX. BX ain't talking about that. She going to get upset. Let me not say that.
What happened? What happened? No, y'all,
No,
I want y'all to
no,
notice something. I
I'm
want
playing.
y'all to
I'm playing.
notice something. I realized Afro Lee had a base, and I was going through a shift here on TikTok too, and I needed the calmness that his live was bringing. But I think all the trolls have found us, and it's still calm, Afro. I'm not saying it's not calm. So I would ask Afro behind the scenes, Afro, you got a base here. We need your voice here. And so I'm very comfortable coming up on the panel and modding for Afro Elite. I'm comfortable with anybody I mod for, but all the other creators, no. When Afro says he's going live, I got to go. I'm dropping from the panels, and they respect that because that's what FBA does. But Afro Elite is coming more regularly over here because I understand y'all don't like YouTube. You're more comfortable with TikTok. You don't like Twitter, so you're more comfortable with TikTok. And people who resonate with the message, FBA over here, need to hear the good FBA word and have the fruitful discussion. And so I asked Afro Elite to come, but I asked y'all to maintain order, which FBA does. So the uptick in Afro Elite coming over here is because I've been being an advocate for us, asking him to come. I'm y'all advocate. If I could get close enough to the creator, y'all, I will. So Afro Lee, you don't know when you'll come back, but you'll get my inbox and tell me, right? Also,
Yeah,
I know I
okay.
left a very long message. I'm almost finished. I need you to read that. I don't need no extensive statement. All I need is like 2-3 lines, and I can finish the article.
Yeah, I'm Afro Lead on YouTube. Yeah, it's just,
And
and the link to that is in the bio. So you just go to the bio, and you'll find a link to all of my social media. And if you want to listen to the playback of this live and all of the other lives, we got a lot of good other lives, a lot of great discussions. Go to For the Culture on YouTube. Today's a little bit busy, so I'm going to be a little bit late on YouTube today. So normally I start around 7, even though I kind of be late a little bit. But now I'm going to go at 8 o'clock my time. So that's Central Time. So Eastern Standard Time, that'll be 9. All right, on YouTube.
off Black people time, that's 9:30, 10. Guys, let's just be for real.
I'm trying to break
Camera.
that habit, but
It didn't want to pop up on the camera
I'm trying to
last
break
night.
that habit. I really.
Thank you to everybody
All
who
right.
has gifted. Afro Lee, if you could just, really quick, 3 lines in the inbox about what the message about the article, and I'll be straight. I won't bother you until tomorrow.
You say you want me to about this article?
Yeah.
Say that.
No, no, no. Remember I asked you about an article, and almost finished writing it, but something came up because I went down a rabbit hole, and I just need a brief statement from you. So that very long message that I left you today, you probably skipped it. Just read it because it's based off of that. It's a really easy read, but it's really intricate into the article. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah,
Thank
this
you.
article.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
you want me to start from? Let me see. You want me to start? I'm gonna put a reaction here. You want me to start from this point right here? Or you want me to start? Tell me where you want me to start.
Do it again. It should say, it could be as brief. You could put it right here in the inbox. You see that? That part of the message? It's in the early greeting of the message. It's probably the first one I sent you today. It's really long.
Yeah, it says Afro. This article is extensive. That's the one you want me to start.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Just read that, and it'll give you the basis for your answer.
Okay. It
Thank
says
you, Afro.
Afro. This. Oh, of course, no problem. The more I read resources, the more I find to. Hold on, let me make this bigger. Zoom this in. The more I
Don't read
find
the
in any
typos,
book.
Afro. I didn't edit that message.
Okay.
Oh, funny.
Okay. Okay. It says anyway, the following will be based off home ownership. I need another statement. Okay, I got you. I need another statement, and it doesn't have to be long. I think it would. So you want me to give my statement now? Or you want me to read the thing?
No, in the
Okay.
inbox, because you got to
It
read
doesn't have
that.
to be
Yeah, you
long.
got to read the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. And I think it would be good to have your insight in this. This is also good for reparations feedback and arguing points. When they tell us we all face the same discrimination, because no, the hell we don't. That's true. Okay. This is a credible source too. Okay. And then you continue to say, according to the National Library of Medicine statistics, the the analysis. I'm trying to, because okay, because
Yeah,
this one is a
it's
pretty,
long.
this one is pretty
Yeah.
long. The
Yeah.
regression analysis shows that Africans are least likely to own their homes, and through though they own homes of higher value than U.S. born blacks, own homes. It says own homes of
Um.
significantly lower than Caribbean born blacks. Oh, well, that's interesting. And the full
Mhm.
model. Caribbean immigrants are more likely to be homeowners than U.S. Born blacks at the national level in all three time periods. Although Caribbean born blacks significantly less likely than US born whites to own their homes, Caribbean immigrants own homes of equivalent or higher value than US born whites at the national level. The result of the national analysis suggests that Caribbean born blacks are more advantaged than whites in terms of house value. However, this advantage is predominantly due to their concentration in the New York and Washington, D.C. metropolitan areas, two areas with high home value relative to the rest of the nation. When the analysis is limited to New York and Washington, D.C., yeah, okay, so it's just that the D.C. area, the DMV, suppose, right? It says the Caribbean-born blacks' homes are worth significantly less than those of U.S.-born whites, but still more than U.S.-born blacks. The data then suggests that due to certain characteristics of Caribbeans and larger social network compromising the same ethnic group, this is not a hindrance to the Afro-descendant Caribbean immigrants in comparison to foundational Black Americans. The same ethnic group social networking is ideal for other Afro-descendant immigrants, such as Nigerians.
So, and let me sum that up. You know how I talk about how they locked us out of home ownership? So I wanted to get to the statistics of the disparity in the, because I said, that disparity that they caused when they migrated here still persists today. And so that's the basis for that, based off of the National Library of Medicine, meaning that because of their social networking with each other, which is simply group economics, they have found a way to have a higher home ownership because they only deal with their own. So when they talk, and it reflects to the point where nationally their homes are more valued than the white T-born people here, right? Because they buy homes in places like New York, and stuff like that. So they do lock us out of things. They don't practice the unity that they speak unless it's unity with each other. And this is a tactic that they learned through the British Virgin Islands when they were going through certain things over there. It's all in the article. Hey, Trinidad. It's all in the article, but I just need your insight on that. Like they say they want unity. We're all disenfranchised the same. They all view us the same. Well, why are you owning homes that's more than white tea people? You know what I'm saying? So, it's not all unity. I think that's just smoke and mirrors for us to remain stupid. Well, we're not stupid, but to their tactics.
Yeah, we're definitely. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more, but it's definitely not the same.
Yeah.
Our history and our discrimination in this country has not been the same, and that's why the reality of our conditions is not the same. All right. Yes, we do face discrimination just based off of anti-blackness in general, but that is universal. Everything isn't universal. There's intricate details and nuances to a group of people being discriminated that they have fortunately been allowed to be omitted from the story. They've fortunately been allowed to go, be spared rather from that, from the degree of discrimination that we have had to face. But we're gonna have to talk about that because I got to go into that a little bit more in detail.
Well, I would
Sure. I'll give you the
definitely love
link for the resource so you can review it yourself.
I would
Okay.
definitely love for us to have that conversation because I know that you mentioned in there DC and that area and Maryland specifically. I can specifically talk to that because a lot of that has to do with the history of Black people in
Washington D.C. specifically. There's such FBAs in Washington D.C. We have such deep roots there, and I know specifically for that area. When I go back, I live in Jersey now, but whenever I go back, there are a lot of more Africans, Caribbeans there than was ever there before in my lifetime, and that was that's one of the reasons in our especially in our area why we love Marion Barry so much, because one fact about DC that they won't tell you, they'll always talk about Marion Barry doing crack, but they don't tell you during his time DC became the richest black city in America, because Marion Barry took black people and put us in those federal government jobs and help black people move up the ladder. And black people were able to purchase homes in Washington, D.C., which is why eventually in the in the late 90s, all the way up to the early 2000s, PG County, right outside of DC, becomes the richest black county in America. And we're not talking about African, we're talking about FBA, because of what he did in giving black people those opportunities that we didn't get before. And that was an FBA mayor who was making those things happen. And so that's why we treasure him in that area. Anybody who has any roots there knows that. And then of course, also there's so much other stuff we can get into too with that. But just I heard a little section of that where you were talking about DC in there and everything like that. So I just wanted to give a little spiel about that, because at one point, black people in that area, FBAs, were leading in that area. And now today to hear that we are not is disappointing.
I want to say this. I know we're going to wrap it up. In D.C., they started the African Immigrant Caucus in 2014. If you haven't heard of them, you might want to look into them. They say they deserve everything like the African Americans. I want to say this. To sum up what Afro just read is comparing African immigrants, specifically Nigeria, Caribbean, specifically Jamaicans, and foundational Black Americans. The Caribbean is outpacing everybody, and Nigerians are less likely to own their homes, right? And Black Americans are sort of at a disadvantage because we're disenfranchised differently. So we don't lead in certain areas, whereas the Caribbean is dominating it all because of their tactics, though. They've managed to circumvent the disenfranchisement that the rest of us haven't been able to thus far. But that'll change because FBA is on code in alignment and we're being more selfish. We're doing the same thing they're doing, right? Same group, economics. That's what we're doing. Delineation.
All right, that's very true. Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much. I appreciate that. If y'all want to listen to conversations like this,
she said that's because the Caribbean and Africans are getting subsidies and funding. So I'm just thanking her for that information. Go ahead, Afro. I'll be quiet now.
It must be the lag. The lag is something else. But we had a really good conversation, and we do need to have more conversations like this. So this is why you all need to follow. That way you guys don't miss out on none of the conversations that we have. You also need to be following on YouTube, because that's where the playbacks of these conversations go. So follow on For the Culture on YouTube. Go to YouTube, go to For the Culture, subscribe. You guys get to listen to everything. Great stuff on For the Culture. You can follow me on YouTube. Go to the link in my bio after you follow me. Follow me first. Do that first, okay? Order. Follow me. Go to the link in my bio, and then you'll see my YouTube and the rest of my social media. Zizi also has a YouTube, and her social media and everything is in the link in her bio as well. She's also on For the Culture as well too. So that's what you guys need to do, so that way you guys can stay empowered. You guys can stay informed, and we can solve these problems. And with that being said, you all have a good rest of your night.
Peace and Reparations Foundation of Black Americans.
You won.
Be one.
So much.